Hello and welcome to episode 63 of In PS We Trust, a PlayStation podcast. My name is Davey, and joined with me, as always, is the fine wine himself, Philip Hoy.
Yep, that's right. Just plain old Phil. Nothing special about me. Just Phil. Joining the boys on another episode of In PS We Trust. Nice to be here, lads.
It's lovely to have you, but do you know what? I anticipated this might happen. This is why I wanted to ask you something, Spence. And of course, I got my little poppet with me, Spencer Davis. Spence, this is totally on you, right, to settle this. I fully back this that I'm going to put out here now. I think that Phil should have a shot for excessive gloating. 3 episodes he's been on about this now, and we put a ban on it last time. I think we should add a shot to the doc for excessive gloats. That the time has passed now. We stopped going on about it.
But how is this gloating? I've not even mentioned it.
The sight of it offends me. I'm personally offended seeing the crown on your head.
I can see myself in it. It's glistening, mate. You polish that every night.
Every night. Spit shines on that.
Take it straight to bed.
Yeah, it does.
Jesus.
Bastard. I used to do the same. So, what are you saying? Are we adding one to the doc?
I think this is a written warning.
Ooh.
And if
okay.
so much as a word of king or a sentence, anything, any semblance of gloating shows up in the next 7 episodes, it's a shot.
Okay. You have been warned.
So clearly, Spencer has realised, because I won the last quiz, I've got 5 shots to hand out, right? So he's been very kind to me.
I forgot about that.
But I'm willing to.
Yeah.
I'm willing to accept this as long as this is the rule forever. You get 3 episodes to gloat. Then after that, it's forgotten about until the big quiz, where it's settled again.
The thing is with our podcast, it's very much a case like the British court system, where it's all done on precedent, right? So it's all done on what's happened before in the past. And that's how all the rules so far for this entire podcast over its 63 episode run have been created. Right. So I'm quite happy in having that as an enforceable rule. No problem at all.
I'll tell you what, it's the first time we've had a rule in a long time.
The last one was the Resident Evil rule, right?
The button, yeah.
Yeah, and I suppose partly then it's just like rule tweaks, isn't it? Like with the quick news shots.
Tweaks, yeah. We've amended quick news as well. We added quick news since the button.
We had a few amendments, haven't we?
Yeah, but never an actual rule.
So you can,
take it off your fucking head.
Fucking shit off your head now.
I'll take it off for now. I'll just put it in view, just so you can see it at all times.
Yeah, that's gloating.
I'll allow it to be there.
I'm allowed to gloat this episode. That was the rule, right?
Yes,
gloat this episode, 63, then 7 episodes of no gloating.
Yeah, and I don't mind it being in the background in future. You have earned it, right? So mine would be hanging up, so I don't see there's any problem with that. I just don't want to hear bloody mention of it, or it be on your head. That's the thing. So we got to just get through today, sail through it. And audience, speaking of sailing through it, we got an absolutely stacked show. I know I say that every single episode, and generally they are. This is insane. The amount of news that we've got to cover off today, it's like as if E3 has happened. It's insane. There is so much to go through. Rumour has it is back for a second week running. And we got the State of Play, which happened only yesterday from the date of recording, to go through as well. So we got stacks of content, so I don't want to keep you waiting any longer. Let's first off dive in to what we do every single episode on the show. We start off with a question. This time, it has come round to me. My question today, very simple, but I think it could go off in a lot of interesting ways. What do you think is a job that doesn't exist that you think should? You can take it anywhere you want. It can be video game related. It doesn't have to be. Fill me in. Speaking of filling me in, I would love you to fill me in. I want to be treated like an eclair, mate.
Well, I mean, if I'm doing it anyway, I may as well get paid.
Yeah.
That's the job. Fucking what? I don't know, mate. Immediately, the stupid answer that comes to mind is professional toe sniffer. But in terms of...
I thought you'd moved on from jury. Come on, bro.
I have moved on from jury, but you got one sniff, mate. You can't leave fully. Hangs in the back of your mind. She's that X you don't forget about.
It's like that. It's like the Pringles, mate. Once you pop, you can't
stop. Can't stop, mate. Can't stop. But in terms of a real answer, fuck yeah, I don't have a fucking clue, mate. I don't know. That's a really hard question. think.
It is quite a tricky one. It is quite a tricky one. Phil, have you got anything lined up for this?
Yeah, and maybe we should pay people to read the doc, because this question has been in the doc for quite a while. So I'm kind of a little confused why you didn't have something lined up on this one, Spence.
It's
but
not
I've just
only
come up with one off the top of my head, because what's just come off the top of my head? Yes, my crown. And there should be a job for someone to polish it all the time, because I'm allowed to gloat this episode, and I'm going to gloat. Gloat, gloat, gloat. I need someone to polish that crown. And I'm going to go, I'm paying a £5. Someone come over, here's a £5, polish that crown. You can clean my car for a £10, clean my crown for a £5. That's what I'm going for. That's the standard rate.
Would that even be legal in terms of, don't you have to pay minimum wage?
Pay by
Wouldn't
the
it cost-
hour?
Yeah, it costs like
0 hour contract?
Yeah, it's as and when, is it? It's just like as and when you need it cleaned, for a big occasion like this, for the 3 episodes after.
Every episode, really. Well, the first 3 episodes, the next 7, I can't even talk about it.
Yeah, just dust it every now and again. All right, so £5 an hour for that job. I can't see there being a huge demand. It's quite a niche, very niche market to get in. Do you have to do any pre-work before getting in there? Any experience required on these applications, or is it just a straight up come on in and polish my crown?
Well, normally I ask for a little bit of experience when I'm scrolling through the CVs and looking, some of your past experience. What have you done? What learnings have you taken on? Have you tried to polish your own crown at home? Can I see some examples of your work? That's probably where I'd start, because I don't think there's a university course for this one just yet. But maybe start off with shoe cleaning.
That's what I was going to say.
Shoe cleaning on the road.
Shoe shining, yeah.
Kind of buff your shoes, governor.
Yeah,
And he's got to be Cockney as well.
He's
Brilliant.
gotta be.
I'd pay more for a Cockney shoe cleaner
Shoe shine.
to come
Yeah.
around and polish my crown.
I reckon
Incredible.
it's like an apprenticeship. They start at the feet and then they work their way up the body until they get to the crown on top. I reckon that's the way it works.
Yeah.
What else are they polishing for me?
Oh,
My
mate,
belt
anything
buckle?
you want, bruv. Anything you want.
Some dirty poles that
My
just
watch.
need a good cleaning. Yeah, I mean it's certainly niche, but it's quite a lucrative market to get into, because generally people with crowns, they're quite well off, aren't they? Generally royalty, to be honest with you. Or unless you Booker T, he's got a crown, anyway, he's King Booker. So you got another customer there, potentially in your back books. But yeah, I mean, I don't think that exists, so I'll certainly take that one. Have you come up with an idea yet, Spence, or do you want me to lay down my my absolute genius idea?
I got one, yeah.
Go on then.
I got one. The job, the title, when you apply for this job, yeah, the title of the role is podcast listener.
Right.
What you do is you don't even need to listen to it. You just pay them, 20p per episode? They just got to chuck it on somewhere. They could get an old tablet or device and just put it on shuffle, and you'd be like 20p an hour to just chuck this on charge back to your house. Whatever, just let it play, mute it if you want, but just have this playing in your house. 20p an hour. I think you get 50 people doing that, playing every episode for an hour all day. There's no reason for them to stop. They're making free money. You're spending pennies, growing your audience.
Oh, it's not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea.
It's like the early days of YouTube where people had bot accounts, didn't they?
It
And
still
they'd be
happens.
Does
yeah.
it still happen
Still
now?
happens.
Where they're they pay for subs or whatever.
Yeah.
And then people come in and they flock, and all of a sudden they're at 5k and they've done one video which is totally gash.
Yeah.
It's that kind of situation.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, that is a job that, even though it's kind of cheating, it was 100% cheating. 20p an hour.
20p an hour, mate.
Yeah, listen to the first 20 minutes is fine.
Innit? Yeah.
And then log off. If you're interested in that, you're already doing it for free, listener. So you're not invited. But if there's somebody who doesn't listen to the show that you speak to that would do it for 20p an hour, then please let us know. Write into the email psvtrust@gmail.com, and we will certainly sign him up.
It's funny that we're just looking for things just to benefit us at the moment. So polish my crown, £5. Listen to the episode, you got 20p. I wonder what's going to come up next. Davey, what you got for us?
Well, my job, guys, is something I was thinking about. On birthdays, stag do, stuff like that, right? You get grossograms, or you get people come round to you get strippers, grossograms, you get all these different I think there's one that's embarrasses people.
That grossogram came round twice.
You get some.
You get grossograms. You get grossograms.
There's
you do get grossograms. Christ,
you do indeed. But there's also some where they're just sent out to embarrass you, aren't they? Where they sing a song or whatever, and then you just got to take it. Well, mine is something that I was thinking about. When you're a kid, if it was your birthday, you'd never tell anyone, ever in school.
No, you get punches.
birthday beats.
Yeah.
Why isn't that a service that you hire someone and they go around and beat the shit out of someone? That
Out
you
of kids.
Well, whoever. You could be like, it's Phil's birthday, and he gets a knock on the door. Goes there. Hello, Hoy residents, and they just fucking beat the shit out of him. Beat the shit out of him. Birthday
that's
beats.
That's exactly how I answer my door with the crown on.
Yeah.
Hoy residents.
And then he's just like getting the shit beaten out of him. Birthday beats. Or someone just goes up and just goes, boom, just lamps in the arm. From Davey. And then just walks off. And there's birthday beats.
Fuck it hell.
That's it. Would you be interested in buying that? Do you think that's a service that you would get for anyone?
No, because the issue is, right, there's a reason why. Maybe the people my age, but you boys are old. Yeah. So not only is he going to charge me more than he charge you boys, but also 100%. In your age, you're getting frail, yeah? And at the same time, equivalently, that fella, he needs to hit you more times. So it's not a good payoff. You'll end up, I don't know, he's going to be a big lad, I reckon.
Yeah, he's going to be massive.
You're dead. You'll be dead. What are you going to do? He hits you once, you'll get pissed off. You'll start trying to scrap him. Yeah. You're dead.
But then he'd be like, it's from Spencer. And he'd be like, oh, he's hired a fucking birthday beater, hasn't he? And he'd be like, oh, fucking good job, mate. You're like sitting there, broken fucking nose all around your head. Like, cheers, mate. Cheers.
What if it went the other way, though? They hired like a really skinny guy to pop round and just kind of tickle you a little bit, right? So you could feel emasculated, right? It's like a bit of a grossogram kind of situation, because you brought that up a few times earlier, right? So normally you would get a stripper, wouldn't you? And you'd be all excited. You'd get a grossogram, be horrified by that. But this one, instead of getting the beat down, you're going to come out on top. You can beat them up. You're sending someone round so I can just punch them in the face and feel good about myself. Well, I think that would work as well.
This is the thing. It's a multi-pronged approach, right? You start off with the birthday beats for its market, and I'm thinking the market is like the rugby boys, the football lads, where they all like get into a fight with each other, or they all, go around and, like wedgie someone, or all that bollocks that they do when they've had 2 pints, they think they're hard, right? That's the market you target at first, and then it slowly spreads out. So like Phil says, then you can get these people come round, and it's a laugh when they punch you. Because they're like, they're a kid, or they're, something like that, where you're like, oh, this is just a joke, right?
But is it like an agency, right? So an agency, and they just send a random worker.
I think the
way it works, imagine it's a fucking 8-year-old's birthday party, and they just send the biggest guy they got.
And I suppose what you do is you'd have different packages, right?
The guy shows up, he's got a tear down his face.
It would be a tailored service, right?
Yeah. So you'd have different packages. Like the silver service might be that it's just a tap on the arm. And then when you get to premium platinum, that's hospitalization, right? That's like where you fucking absolutely fuck them up.
They show up with a bat.
Yeah, like and you don't even knock on the door. You like wait for them to just get out the car from work and you jump them. And there's like 5 of them. And
they wait until 2 weeks after their birthday, so they don't expect it.
Yeah, they're totally not. It'd be like your birthday would be like the fucking purge. Every time you'd never want to leave. No. You'd be like, fuck. What if someone's hired a birthday beating? And you go around and you'd be like scared shitless, but it would be a laugh.
It wouldn't. Would it? Well, fuck, it wouldn't.
Isn't there one where they kidnap you?
Yeah,
I swear I've heard this one before, where they grab you, put a bag over your head, and stick you in the back of a lorry or a car or whatever, right? And take you away, so you're all panicked.
But yeah, this is the thing. I honestly, I can see a multi-pronged strategy for this. I could see it being something that starts off small with the Rugby Boys and then
expands.
Multiplies.
Not by word of mouth, by word of fist.
Fist, yeah. Exactly right. So that's my idea. Haven't worked out the charging structure yet, but that is my golden idea. In fact, I might start that off. I might look into the legal precedent for what happens if you do randomly go up and assault someone, but if you've been paid for it. It's just like a hitman. Is it a hitman situation there, or is it you sign a waiver and everything's A-okay, right? Who knows? I'll look into it, listeners. But if you're interested in any of these golden ideas, and there's been some real good ones here, let us know. Write into the email psvtrust@gmail.com. If you're interested in coming in as a partner for any of these ideas, then my door's open. I'm ready to kick this off. Birthdaybeats.com and get your friends the shit beaten out of them. We can start that.
Sounds like they can beat you off.
Yeah. Multi-pronged.
Wow. Multi-pronged.
On that note, let's find out what we're drinking today, guys. Spence, we always start with you. What have you brought to the table today?
I brought fuck all because I'm at your house. So why would I bring anything? I'll
Yeah.
just nick what you've got. So immediately we went downstairs and you were like, oh, let's go make a drink. You started making yourself a squash. I thought, fuck that. I opened your fridge and I grabbed can of Strongbow. Hey, and this one's already empty, by the way. So I'm opening the second.
You grabbed an empty can of Strongbow.
I grabbed a full one, drank it all, and now it's an empty
Oh.
one. So now I'm
I
on
was
the
gonna
second
say,
already,
just-
which sadly my last
He's
one.
just got empty cans around his house.
It's like when you go to IKEA, isn't it? And they got all that fake fruit out. You know, it's like that, but I do that for all the empties.
Don't tell me you've fallen for the fake fruit. You
Yeah.
go up to the apple and go,
It's the pears, mate. The pears look the most realistic.
It's true.
Go up and I haven't had a pear in ages. A bit plasticky, this. It's fake.
and they're super expensive as well at the moment, aren't they, in the UK?
They are.
So
yeah.
maybe
Is there a shortage of fake fruit? What is going on?
Oh dear.
But yeah, Strongbow.
Nice,
Nice. Yeah.
great choice.
Thank you, by the way.
You're more than welcome. If anything, I'm glad that you're drinking them. To be honest with you, so any more down there, help yourself. They've been in the fridge for months. What about yourself, Mr. Hoy? Are you drinking something on par with the Strongbow? Maybe one of your lovely IPA nonsense beers that you got dotting about the house?
Well, Davey, I'm glad you asked because as I am the king, I'm bringing a bit of je ne sais quoi, can tell I've been to Paris, to the podcast today. I'm on the wine. I'm going to drag you boys kicking and screaming out of the gutter with your Strongbows and into the future, into a classy future. I'm on a 2019, I believe it is, Rioja. So cheers. Chin chin.
Aged. Chin chin, fella.
Chin chin.
Aged.
I'm on a San Miguel. So I'm on a couple of these. I've got a busy weekend ahead, so I can't have too many. So when those run out, I am on a classic orange squash. But we got a road till then. And speaking of the road, I'm desperate to know what we've been playing. So let's kick it on down the road. This is a terrible. This is the worst transition I've ever done. Let's just move on to what we've been playing.
This time on NPS We Trust. What have the boys been playing?
God, that transition was probably the worst thing I've ever done in my life. I feel physically ashamed. But moving on. Guys, it's been 2 weeks since the last podcast episode, and I'm desperate to know what you've been up to in that time. Mr. Philip Hoy, I'm going to pass it over to you first. I'm going to make a shock change and chuck it over to you, because I want to know if you played any more Callisto. Last time you were talking about it, potentially saying you would have finished it by the time you got to this episode. Has that happened?
Davey, you know it. Spencer knows it. The listeners know it. The viewers know it. I haven't completed Callisto. I like to take my time with games, but I actually haven't been playing any Callisto over the last couple of weeks. I've been away on holiday. But in the time I've had to play PlayStation, I've been playing a little-known game, which has been my highly anticipated game that I talk about quite a lot, tweet quite a lot about it. I've been playing Atomic Heart.
So how is it? Because, I mean, this is the thing. This is, out of all the games that are coming out in 2023, this was right up there. You've been hyping this thing up for what seems like eternity. Has it lived up to that hype?
You're right, yeah. And so far, it has for me. I've only played a limited amount of this game, maybe 4 or 5 hours of it, but I've got through the initial sort of introduction of the story. I've been introduced to a couple of different game mechanics, which are quite recognizable if you've played games such as Fallout, BioShock, Portals. Yes, we've seen it all before, but it's kind of bundled in a kind of unique Russian, non-controversial way, even though it's Russian. But yes, enjoying the game. It's everything I expected to be. It's got a very engaging story. It's got a mix of, as I said, favourable game mechanics, but it's backed up with that high level of visual fidelity that Mudfish are putting out these days. And I'm completely in love with the game.
Joe, that's really good to hear, to be honest, Phil, because I know you got it for my birthday. I haven't had a chance to play it yet because there's been other things that I've been doing. So to see it get up there into the, like, matching your expectations for what you had going into the experience, that is good to see. Now, obviously, there's a lot of controversy with this game. Last episode, we discussed controversy and how really, when it comes to things like Hogwarts Legacy, it doesn't really bother us. I imagine that's the same for yourself with Atomic Heart, the fact that it's a Russian-based game made by a Russian studio, not really paying too much interest in any of that stuff?
Nah, none of that bothers me. It does make me giggle slightly because I'm a big fan of sort of Command and Conquer, Red Alert, and I used to love those little intros they used to do. And there's a lot of that kind of like comedy value within Atomic Heart. They are taking the mick out of the Russian kind of standard, the way they talk, the way they act, the way they kind of lay things out. But no, there's nothing there that I'm thinking, oh, Ukraine, great. Like, that isn't bothering me at all. I'm just playing the game and really, really enjoying it.
Well, I'm glad to hear. And it's one of those things that hopefully, probably not next episode, but in a couple of episodes' time, I'll have a chance to be able to go in and spend some time on this, because like you, I'm really looking forward to getting my teeth sunk into this and diving in. And I know, Spence, this game, still no interest at all from yourself?
Well, I've seen a few GIFs and short videos on Twitter now, which has piqued my interest. But, just because there's some sexy robot women. But,
Of course.
still no. I do not have the time to even care about this game. And also, by the way, just a quick comment, let's not go off on this. It's insane that, controversially speaking, we compared the country that's invading Ukraine to an author who made a few trans comments. That is insane.
It's mad. But this is Twitter, isn't it? Everything's always the same level of noise, regardless to what it is.
Outrageous.
It is.
Outrageous. People are dying. Like, it's not the same.
Yeah.
But let's not go off.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I'd like to get to the game, but definitely not anytime soon. Definitely not.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure there'll be a couple of copies flying around once we finished it anyway. Because I don't think it's a long game. I think it's a relatively short sort of playtime with this. So, yeah, we can pass it down to you, Spence. No problem at all.
Nice. Didn't expect that. From looking at it, I thought it'd be quite long.
I think it's like 20 odd hours, but I'm not sure on that. I think when I've watched a couple of reviews, it seems to be around about that mark. I think if you do everything. But I suppose it kind of all depends on how much you kind of vibe with it, I suppose. And if that kind of stuff is something you want to do. But then again, maybe the people who played it were trash, because apparently I've heard it can be quite difficult.
Oh, I like that.
As you were speaking, I've just Googled it and it said 15 hours apparently the average playthrough, but there's at least 25 hours of content there. So it is a short game to play.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I think all their effort has been put into the visuals and the story here.
That's good. I'd prefer that over a game that just puts all their efforts into longevity.
Oh, nothing worse.
It's shit. So that is great to hear. And I would like to get to it at some point. Obviously, if it's only short, maybe I'll find a time. But it's not in the next 4 years.
Yeah, 2023 is looking very ropey.
Yeah, it's nah, not then.
I think one of the reasons why we're struggling so much to be able to experience all these different games is because the volume of quality content that we've got right now. And for you and me in particular, we've been sinking our teeth into a game that has been your most anticipated game that I can really think of.
Second most,
okay. And that is We Were Here, the brand new one.
forever.
We Were Here Forever. So, we've played the game through, we've completed it, and we've both earned the platinum. Ooh, that's a platinum. So with that being over and done with, I want to know what your thoughts are with this game. Did it live up to what you wanted it to be? And how did you find the experience of playing it through with yours truly? Because you did start this with your mate Dan.
I did.
And you got so far with him. And then obviously we've just blasted through it twice.
Yeah. It was definitely a different experience, because there are some puzzles where Dan would obviously be better than you, namely ones where you just have to give me directions. You can't do that for some reason.
Terrible.
But then, like, the mirror puzzle, which I said when we started the game, I was like, this one puzzle, mate, in this game that is the fucking worst thing I've ever seen. We figured it out, like, relatively quick. It was good, really good. And the game's so sick, man. So sick. Obviously, I'm a big fan of We Were Here anyway. The whole series, the whole IP, I've always been a big fan. I think it's one of the best game series ever made. Genuinely. And it's a one-of-a-kind game series. No other series of games is like it, where you just get a partner and solve fucking puzzles. It's such an easy, simple idea, and they've executed it so well. And now they've added lore, stories, cutscenes. The graphics are really nice. Controls really well. The puzzles are really well executed. There's all different themes throughout the thing. At one point it's winter, another point you're underwater, another point you're in the castle. You got to create a play with bloody mannequins It's sick. It's just a fantastic game. I'll let you talk about it a bit before I give it a rating, let's say.
Okay. Well, I suppose it's important just to remind our audience really what it is. So it's a co-op based, like Spence said, it's a co-op based puzzle game. And that's what it is really. So you go through an adventure, you both get split into 2 separate roles, which then have different tasks to be able to do to aid each other to overcome a puzzle. So the one person might be seeing a map and kind of directions or landmarks for where certain things are. Another person then is just physically in that environment. They have to figure out by communicating with each other how to overcome it. So you can each see kind of half the solution, or one person can see the solution but can't see the process of doing it. The other person can see the process, can't see the solution. So you've got to be able to communicate effectively between you both to kind of overcome that puzzle. And the joy is in that communication. It's in describing what you're seeing and try and convey it. And there's one puzzle in this that I thought was just absolutely incredible. And it's one where one person is down in like a submarine and there's this sea creature that comes up and he makes these noises, right? So he goes like, and the other person has got, and so one person hears that, the other person then has got all these keys in front of them, and a little book, a little guidebook with what these things mean. And so you've got to hear the impression by somebody else and then match that to what the keys are to see if you've got it right, and then come back with an answer to what this thing has asked you. Really, really clever. Took us a little while to kind of nail it and to figure it out. And I was worried because the first time we did that, you were the one doing the impression.
Yeah.
So, and judging by how quick news goes, yeah. Oh yeah. And so judging by quick news, I was thinking, oh god. And so what happens is you kind of end up doubting each other, and you'll be like, does that raise in pitch?
Yeah.
And you're like, yes, it does. Okay. All right. Okay. Pitch raise. Got it.
Like, is that really how that sounds? You're like, yes. Yes, that's how it sounds.
And it's just so inventive.
Are you sure it doesn't have a in it? No.
I think it's one of those things, right, that like you can play Overcooked with like a girlfriend and a wife, and it can get really heated and get quite angry.
Yes.
Things like that. I imagine if you don't get the right partner for We Were Here, it would be a really frustrating experience. And there were times with both of us who would be like kind of asking each other things, and it'd be like, surely, mate, you got something on your side. Like, I fucking don't. I can see this, and that's it. And you're like, surely you got something. I'm like, no. Oh, actually, hold on.
There was one puzzle specifically on our second playthrough, because you have to play both sides to get the platinum. There was one puzzle where we were actually getting angry with each other, and it's because we were just miscommunicating. We both had seen the other side, so we knew what was there. But then I'd explain it to you, you'd be like, where? No, it's not. I'd be like, behind you to the left. I can't do anything, mate. Yes, you can. And then we're just explaining it to each other. Then you explain something to me. I'm like, what? No. It's like, I've seen it. Yes. And it was at a point where we were actually, I think, getting a little bit annoyed. Yeah. But then as soon as we figured it out, we were like, oh my God.
And it's that thing where it's just, and that kind of taught me, if it wasn't already clear, that it is that effective communication and that teamwork and trust in each other that gets you through it. And that's kind of what the whole game series is about. And for me personally, I felt that as the series has gone on, this is what, the third entry or the fourth? Each one has been an improvement on the others. Not so much always in puzzle quality, because I think that even the first one's fantastic in terms of puzzle quality. But in terms of, it feels like a natural evolution. Like each one is an improvement on the last in terms of its, like you said, it's lore and stuff I don't really give a shit about, to be honest with you. The story's secondary to me.
The story of Castle Rock, mate, and the King and the Jester.
Yeah, it's very paper thin. But in terms of the aesthetics and the scale, it's certainly a lot more up. It's a much larger scale in this compared to the previous ones. And I think personally, for myself, audience, if you've got somebody that you think, great, I love playing with this person, you know, we're kind of like buddies on it, or like a girlfriend or wife or anything like that, the partner that you think, yes, let's go through this experience together, I think you'll be hard pressed to find a better co-op experience. I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, I really did.
What would you rate it?
I think for me, because the story is so light and it doesn't really exist, it's got to take some marks there because it does attempt to do a story. And,
Right, yeah. Hang on.
And let me explain.
So does RE1.
Yeah, but RE1's actually got a decent story.
The original RE1.
Yeah, it does.
No Lisa.
It's fine. It's fine, right? Whereas on this, I felt that the story was I didn't really care. And the reason why I know I didn't care is at the ending, I'm not going to spoil it, I felt nothing. I felt nothing. I felt nothing. And that's why I realized, it's not about that. For me, it's the enjoyment of figuring out stuff and the communication together. So I got to mark it down for that. I think for me, I'd give it probably an 8.5. So very, very high, but it takes those hits because it's just not there in the narrative side to be able to push it up. I didn't feel any emotions other than just the enjoyment I had of doing it with you. Not in that way.
In the straightest way possible. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. I actually really like the lore, but I care quite a lot about these games because it's a small studio. They don't do anything else, and it started out as a school project that they made, and that's the original We Were Here. It was a school project, and it's grown into an actual studio who now develop these games. And the announcement trailer for this game was by PlayStation themselves.
Really?
Yeah, and then it was delayed for PlayStation anyway. Fucking what the hell? I came on PC first. Stupid, but. I'd give this game 9 out of 10 flat, only because as a puzzle game, it's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, agreed.
It's 10 out of 10.
Yeah, totally. 100%.
As a co-op game, the only game that does it better is the 10 out of 10 game It Takes Two.
Okay. Well, that's got a narrative as well, doesn't it?
It has a narrative.
Yeah.
But It Takes Two is a better co-op game, not a better puzzle game, better co-op game, and I rated that a 10 out of 10. I can't in good conscience call this game a 10 out of 10 when it's not as good as It Takes Two. So it's a 9 out of 10 for me.
Wow. Still really, really positive praise.
Great game.
And I think it's like $11.99 on the store, isn't it?
Something like that.
Well worth it. If you're looking for something to play, highly recommended by both of us. So the other thing that's been taking our time up, Mr. Spence Davis, is of course, PlayStation VR2 is out. Now we've only had it for a couple of days as the date of recording. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through kind of our thoughts on the system itself, some of the games we've been playing, how we kind of feel about it at this early stage. Next episode, we're actually being joined by a guest. We're being joined by NX Gamer. You may know him from YouTube. He's got a fantastic YouTube account. He's got 54,000 subscribers on there. But he did an amazing VR breakdown on PlayStation VR2. And I was so impressed. I reached out to him and we're getting him on the show. So he's going to be on the topic for next episode where we talk through everything PSVR, and me and Spence will have had a lot more time with the system by that point. So it means that we should be able to really come out there with some nice bits of information, some meat on the bones.
Yeah.
But let's first lay the groundwork, right? Let's lay down the bones on this beast first. PSVR2. Top level thoughts. What do you think about the system itself?
I think it's sick. I mean, it's just good. It's just a really good VR unit, and obviously, I'm the person on the show with VR experience. Having my Oculus Quest or Meta Quest, whatever you want to call it. I've played quite a lot of VR. I've played the Rift as well. This is the best VR unit I've used, and it's not close. It's really not close. But there's probably some issues out of it. Very minor, but they're there. And my playing experience right now, because I'm not in my room, evidently, as I'm in your room right now, because I'm not able to play in my room with good space, I haven't actually been able to use it properly. I have to stay sat down. I can't raise my arms.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I've not been able to utilize it properly, but I've found a good little way to still get some benefits out of it, which I'll talk about in a minute. But yeah, I think it's fantastic. Probably the best VR unit I've used.
Yeah, for me, really, it's one of those things that I gotta say, I was a little bit scared going in, to be honest with you, because I'm not exactly the most, technologically kind of minded, right? When it comes to like a PC, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And so I'm always get a little bit worried when I get like a brand new piece of kit that I have no idea about how hard the setup's going to be. And I got to say, from the moment I plugged it in, that guide to get it all going was absolutely fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Took no time at all to be able to get it. And the hardest thing really was I couldn't figure out why it was blurry. I was like, why is this blurry on my face? And it took probably 3 sessions because there was a slight blur. And I was like, what is going on? Like, this isn't crystal clear like people are talking about. And then on my last session that I had with it, I just played around with the placement on my face itself, not lenses, and fucking nailed it.
Yeah.
Absolutely nailed it. And there's I swear it's about a 5mm sweet point on this.
It is. It's there's a reason for it.
Oh, is
They're
that?
using different lenses than the popular lenses most use. So the usual lenses in like the Oculus Quest and the Index and stuff like that, lenses that are just traditionally look good because they have a bigger sweet spot.
Right.
These ones have a small sweet spot, but if you get it, it's good.
Yeah. And so I had it on my face and I was just slight up and down. And I've now from playing it, I nail it straight away because I go on there and you know when you first plug it in, you get a little kind of warning text box up. As long as there's no bleed whatsoever on that and no movement, I know I've nailed it. And so getting that on and diving into the experiences, it's blown my fucking mind. And I knew this would happen because I've never really had a proper VR experience. I played like a little bit of Job Simulator and stuff like that. But when you put it on, because of the blackout that's on there, I'm just lost, man. Like,
Yeah.
I am in that world. And it's so graphically impressive in like Kayak VR that I literally am fucking lost. And Lottie came in, I had my headset on, I had the visor on, and she came up, she tapped me, and I shit my pants. I absolutely shit my pants. I had no idea she was there. And then you don't have to take it off. You got a little pass-through button. So you just press the button on the bottom of the headset, and you see it. You see everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, fucking hell, this is just great. Like, everything, the way I feel about it is that every single niggle that I could potentially have with it, so far, it kind of feels like as if they've just thought about it
Yeah.
and kind of solved that.
Do you know why?
Why?
PSVR 1.
Yeah.
It was bad.
yeah. That's true. But yeah, I've only played one game so far, which is quite criminal, really, because I've got Call of the Mountain. I got like RE8 VR, which I'm desperate to get into. All I've done is Kayak VR.
Yeah.
And I got to say, I've had some absolutely wonderful experiences, which I'll talk about in a little moment. But for yourself, Spence, obviously with this new this new hardware now, outside of the headset itself, which visually we're both seeing is great. I mean, it's a great looking piece of kit as well.
Yeah.
Looks really visually distinct. What do you think of the new handsets that come with this?
I think they're a nightmare to put on if you don't have pass-through mode on.
Yeah.
A nightmare. You're not getting it on unless you proper have one hand free. You got to get the strap in, and then you've
Strap's the
got to
hardest
make
part.
sure. Nah, it's the orientation of the thing. It's got like 3 circles on it, mate. You got just 3 choices of which hole to put your hand in. It's horrendous. You need pass-through mode, and even then, it's still difficult.
Oh, come on.
But yeah, it's just difficult to get on. Once it's on, very comfortable. All the buttons feel really nice. I wish the R1 button, the grip button, was a bit different. I think the grip button on the Quest controller is better
Okay.
because it's just a tap button like R1 is on the DualSense. Whereas on the Quest controller, it's more of a trigger that you pull, and as you touch in, the fingers on the hand will actually like go in as much as you press it. Whereas it's just a press on this one. So it's different. It's better on the Quest. I also think the Quest controller is better balanced. I
Okay.
think if you hold I don't know what the controller is actually called. Sense controller, isn't it?
I'm not sure what it's called.
I'm sure it's called the Sense. But if it's in your hand, and you let it go, I think it wobbles to the side, and that's because it's not perfectly balanced. And that's kind of my only complaint. When you're holding it and you've got a grip on it, it feels fucking flawless. It feels amazing.
Yeah, it's called the Sense controller.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. I mean, I don't have any experience with any previous VRs, so I picked this up and I just felt it was really intuitive to use. And that's really what I look for in a controller. You want something that you don't have to think where the button placement is. It just felt like kind of just you holding the DualShock, really.
Yeah.
I mean, the only downside for me is that because my only control functions so far have been this, and I'm just doing a kayak motion, listener, I haven't actually been pressing any of the buttons. So
not a one.
Not one. Well, other than pressing X
To boot the game.
to boot the game and pressing the PS button, and the analogs to swap to Kayak VR. Apart from that, not been pressing them because I've just been perfecting my kayak technique. But yeah, I think what I like is that when you go into pass-through mode, when you talk about putting the handsets in, you get the icons come out for left and right.
Yeah, it shows you.
It's
Yeah.
so handy, that.
It's nice, isn't it?
Like when you're looking around your room for and whatever, and you're like, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Put it on. But yeah, I tell you what, I had a bit of a nightmare with the strap the first day. I'm always, whenever I get a new piece of tech, I'm always overly careful with it.
Yeah. Like your Wii remote at the end of the Wii life cycle, did you wear that strap?
Oh no! But then I'd also like wouldn't give a shit about that strap, so I'd be like ripping the thing down, just chucking it on, rip it back on. Whereas in this, I'm like really slow,
Yeah.
like being really careful with it. Just don't wanna break it whatsoever.
Then you're like,
Put it on. Oh, I better massage it on my wrist, Instead of I know that in like 6 months I'll be just like fucking like whipping it on, I won't give a fuck, swinging it around like Thor's hammer. Yeah, but I'm overly impressed with the handset so far. It just feels like it should, I suppose. But I'll definitely be able to unpack that more as we go on. Now, for yourself, Mr. Davis, you have played a stack of games.
I wouldn't say a
compared to me.
stack. I wouldn't say a stack. I've played more.
Okay, so what have you played? Give me your thoughts on the games that you have played for it so far, and just your general thoughts, I suppose.
Okay, so I've played Kayak VR. Kayak VR is sick. It's actually such a great game. So weird that this random little kayaking game that you picked out thought that's going to be the game. It's the game.
It's fucking great.
It's great. You just sail about. It's really fun. And there's like tour modes and there's races. And apparently soon there's going to be multiplayer so we can kayak together.
That'd be fun.
That's going to be so nice. But yeah, great game. Looks stunning. Really enjoying that. Haven't put too much time into it, but I'm looking forward to it. I also played the Village demo. Not the full game, just the demo. And the demo opens with kind of a training room where it teaches you the controls, teaches you how to sprint, how to use a knife, how to shoot your guns. And then what it does is it shows you have to open your jacket with the one hand and grab your flashlight with the other. And then all the lights go out and it says turn the power on. I closed the game. I was terrified. That shit in VR is black. You cannot see anything. And the torch is good, yeah. Nah. I turned it off. I got there twice. I tried it twice, turned it off both times when I got there.
What are you gonna do when you eventually play the base game? Because I know what I'm gonna do.
I know what happens in the base game.
Well,
it's
yeah,
fine.
I suppose.
But this thing where it's just like turn the power on, I was like, that one. I didn't know. That's new.
I might try a challenge run where I just go and box everything. I might put it to like very easy, just try and lamp stuff
You
out.
can as well, yeah.
Because that looks so fun to be
Yeah.
able to do that.
And you have to actually guard and shit as well, because there's guarding in Village.
Oh, so sick. How did you find the shooting? Did you find it quite intuitive to use? Obviously, you're coming from Resident Evil 8 yourself. You played the base experience. I know it was quite a while ago. It was on launch. But yeah, how did you find it? Did it feel intuitive to you to be able to control and to be able to move around and stuff?
It did feel intuitive. Moving around, not so much. I still don't think we've really perfected movement in VR, because the only options you have are to walk as you would in a game, but it just feels off. And usually you can change it so that if you're pressing forward, it stays going the direction you were going even if you turn, or as in going forward is a different direction if you're moving your head. So if you're holding forward and you turn to the right, you'll start walking to the right.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's two settings. And then there's also snap turning. Then there's teleporting, which is usually the preferred method. So you don't actually walk. It stops people feeling sick.
Oh, right. Okay.
So you just usually press the stick forward and a little marker will show up and you can teleport to where you're pointing. And that's what most games do. But I had the walking method and not snap turning rather than smooth turning. And it felt really good. The guns, the sniper rifle. Ooh, feels really good. And it's really nice to aim. I feel like it makes you feel like you're just sick. It makes you feel like you're fucking a badass, It feels good.
This is one of those things that I've been acutely aware of. I became very quickly introduced to is the feeling of sickness.
Yeah.
So my first play session I had on it, it was quite late at night, and I thought, oh yeah, let's just dive into Kayak VR. Can't be that crazy, right? And Jesus, the water, the turning, the quick turning. Oh, I had an hour and a half, and I had to come off. I just had to. I was like sweating. I really felt grim. And even when we came off it, and you gladly, you kindly came off yours to join me on COD so we could play some games, I was feeling grim all night. Really, really grim. And you did say to me, "Oh, just keep at it. You'll get used to it. Your body will get used to it." Now, at this point, only third session, I don't know, maybe like 5 hours, maybe I've put into Kayak VR at this point. Absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Like, I can be caning it, do a quick turn, so just like really slam it at like 40 miles an hour into the side and do a quick turn, feel nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes. And I was playing on this level in Norway where it's a storm. So the water's choppy as shit. So you're like launching about the place, lurching everywhere. It felt fine.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, I've come a long way. I think for me, the thing I'm going to try to do is to get used to walking and just do it.
That's what will happen.
I think I've just got to, even if it makes me feel sick, I think
will.
I'm just going to persevere and just little bits until my body just acclimatizes, and then I never have to overcome it again. You know?
There's so many different things. I think
Oh, is
Kayak
there?
VR will make you feel more sick than the other games, but the first time you try walking, you'll feel sick. First time you try smooth turning, you'll feel really sick.
Okay.
Really bad.
And that's just one of those things that I guess you just got to suck it up. And
You suck it up and you just persevere. I'm not like you, though, where you took it off, had a break. I just fucking stuck in. And I just feel sick. I'd stay still for a minute, stop moving, and then as soon as I felt better, I'd just be like, all right.
Oh, mate, no, I was, like when you desperately need to shit
Yeah.
and your body just automatically starts sweating from everywhere
Every
for
day,
no
yeah.
reason.
Every day.
Every day you're like that. Oh,
Yeah.
gee, I only get that hangover. It was like that, man. Like literally my forehead, I hardly ever sweat. I'm just not a sweaty person. And it was pouring off me. And I was like, fuck, like, I'm not well. Like, I am not well. And I don't really chuck either. I like very rarely be sick. And so I was like, yeah,
It's because your brain doesn't understand why you're moving, but your body's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's so weird. But yeah, I think this is what I'm going to do is that after I've had my fill with kayaking, and I've got a long way to go yet, I'm then just going to dive into like Horizon and dive into RE8 and just fucking, let's max out. Let's do what like hardcore people do. And just, if I do that now at this early stage, my plan is that I just never have to cross that bridge again.
Yeah.
I've done it. Whereas if I take a half measure and I do, say, smooth turning or teleporting, I might feel sick from that. And then when I do decide to step up, I feel sick again. Whereas if I just go all in, I only have to overcome it once. That's the plan. That's the theory. But I'll be able to talk more on this in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, it's definitely a theory. It's definitely a theory. The only other thing I really want to talk about quickly is I did try Song in the Smoke or whatever it's called as well, or Smoke in the Song. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, Song in the Smoke, no?
Song in the Smoke or whatever. It seemed alright. Seemed decent. The big thing I want to talk about is today before I came, I finished work and I thought I want to try something before I come over. So I tried out the theater mode.
Oh, yeah.
And that is basically you can play normal PlayStation games, normal PS5 games, but you're kind of in a cinema with a giant screen and you're the only person there. And you've got 3D audio and it's blackout. You can't see nothing around you. You just got a giant screen directly in front of your eyes. And it's good quality. I don't think it's 4K. I think it's 1080.
Okay.
It's about 1080 HDR. Mate. Mate. I tested Call of Duty. I played a campaign mission. Really good. And my situation right now, I'm in my sister's room whilst my room's being done. I'm on like a small 28-inch TV that's barely fucking 1080p. It's like that stupid 1080i that exists.
Oh, yeah.
It's like that, and it's laggy, and it's just not a good time for anyone, namely me. So this theater mode, thought I'd give it a go, see if it's the solution. It is the solution, 100%. Call of Duty, perfect. Beat that mission, great, felt really good. Then I booted Dead Space. Oh, baby. This is the optimal way to play survival, like horror games.
Really?
Normal PlayStation 5 horror games. You're in a cinema, mate, in pitch black with you're so immersed. So immersed. And it's terrifying. One freaking necromorph, whatever they are, showed up on my left as I was walking, not even to the objective. I was just walking about and he jumps up like, rah! Bro, I screamed. I actually screamed. I almost chucked the headset off my head. It was sick.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's how I'm going to play Dead Space.
Well, really?
Yeah.
I suppose for yourself in that situation, that does make perfect sense, right? I gotta try it. I gotta try it. It's something that I haven't thought about doing. And as light as the headset is, and I gotta say, in terms of wearability, absolutely fine.
Well, the thing is,
barely
right,
notice it on me at all.
yeah, I don't notice it, but when I played that mission on Call of Duty, I was laid on my bed,
Oh, that's cool, isn't it?
looking up at the sky, because you can change the orientation. That's why I put it so the screen was up there, and I was just led down, playing COD. It's every single night when we play games, I'm going to have that VR headset on,
Wow,
because it's a better experience than what I have.
that's great. Well, that's fit. That's fab, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
And I suppose one of those things that you could just take if you were going somewhere on a trip, I mean, I don't know why you do this, right? Say you had no TV, you could just take your VR unit, couldn't you?
And your PS5?
Yeah, take your PS5.
That's $1,000 you're taking.
Yeah, you could though.
You
wouldn't. It's better than taking a TV. A lot lighter than taking a TV in it, chucking a VR in your bag.
I wouldn't chuck it in my bag. Mate.
No, not the 6 months in. You might.
6 months in, I might.
Yeah, not now.
I wouldn't do that with my Quest now. Tell you what, mate. No.
It's an expensive bit of kit. So far, do you regret the purchase?
Not at all. Not in the slightest. There are a few things that I'm not a fan of the headset, or that I don't like about the headset, but I'll bring those up when we actually have a deep dive. And also I'll spend more time with the headset, see if maybe mine changes. But I do not regret it in the slightest. It's only £100.50 more than I paid for my Quest, and it's centuries ahead. So yeah, not an ounce of regret.
Yeah, I think for me, the novelty so far of the experience is just overwhelming. It's wild, and I've had just a magical moment. And this is so lame, but I was playing kayak VR on Norway, and I was just kayaking along. There was this lighthouse, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna go over to the lighthouse, see what's going on over here, right? See if there's a trophy. Going round, and then I just see this slight glimpse of a tail through the water, and I think, dunk my head underneath the kayak. Have a look. It's a fucking whale. It's a humpback whale. I think, oh my God. And so I turn the kayak around, and I'm going up to this whale, and just to my left is this fucking giant whale. And it blew my mind. Honestly, it blew my mind. And I spent 5 minutes then just kayaking right next to this whale, and I was just in awe. The music hit, the lighting was perfect, kind of everything all just came together in that moment. I was like, this is fucking wonderful. Like, this is just a joyful experience. And as much as I was, hyping up kayak VR, a little bit tongue-in-cheek, I just didn't expect it to be this engaging. Yeah. And I find it just so thrilling. And yeah, so far, certainly not been a regret at all. I've loved every moment, but I suppose the proof will be in the pudding. And even though the launch lineup is great, and Christ, I haven't even played RE8 or Gran Turismo 7 yet. Yeah, and those are the two standout experiences alongside Call of the Mountain, which is apparently a fucking proper system seller.
Proper 10 out of 10, apparently.
So I got these 3 big dick games to play. But it means I've got to come out the kayak. And I can't see it happening anytime soon, my friend. I just can't. But we'll see where it goes. In 2 weeks' time, when we got NX Gamer on, that will be when we'll be able to really deep dive into this. And especially for him, he's an expert in VR.
Yeah.
He reviews these systems. He got sent a review copy. He got sent a PSVR2 by PlayStation. So it'd be great to get him on and to be able to hear his kind of deep dive and technical know-how into this system. But so far from myself and from you, Spence, overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll save that VR talk till the next episode. Let's move it on to the quick news. Quick news.
Okay, listeners and viewers, you have made it to quick news. Congratulations. We've made it through the VR chats. We've made it through what we've been drinking, and you've had our introductions. So here we are. Let's go. Quick news. Again, we're going to hit you up with some improv karaoke impressions, the same as we do normally. I'm going to switch it around, and I'm going to come over to Davey first. I'm going to give you the song. Spencer, you're going to give him a little bit of flavour. Are you okay with that?
Sounds good to me, mate. Can't wait. Can't wait to see what you guys got cooking for me today.
Fine with me.
And as we're talking about flavour, I want the song. What's your flavour?
Okay.
And the flavour, seeing as you're learning Welsh currently on Duolingo.
I am.
Welsh.
Okay. Can I just speak
No,
like I am
like
now?
Welsh.
People say to me, they're like, "Oh yeah, you sound like you're from Wales."
I had someone at work a customer on the phone be like, "You're from Cardiff." I was like, "I'm not. I'm in Cardiff. I'm not." He's like, "I could tell."
Yeah, this is the thing. So you want me to go to Valleys, is it?
Yeah.
All right.
Like Georgia, but beyond. Like Gavin and Stacey, like Bryn.
All right then, Bat. What's your flavour? Tell me what's your flavour. Ooh, what's your flavour? Tell me what's your flavour. Oh, it's going like Irish. Quick news. The sooner I get away from that, the better. I feel like I might be getting a shot for this one. Embracer. You've heard of them. We've all heard of them. They're buying up everyone under the goddamn sun for the last year or more. Well, they've hit their first bit of rocky road. And no, it's not the gorgeous dessert that we all love. It is Saints Row. Remember when Saints Row launched last year? Remember how we were all saying it looked like an absolute trash fire? Well, it turns out that trash fire cost $100 million to make. And it turns out it was a disappointing launch. Cataclysmically bad. And so, Embracer on their Q3 report have said, to simplify, each project has to earn its right to exist, which means we will increase our efforts to put quality first even further, and make sure we create unique, positive player experiences. Basically, guys, it means that we do not get another Saints Row situation in the future from Embracer, whereby they maybe won't be doing so much soft testing, like when they go out and they go out to groups and they focus test the shit out of something and it loses all its identity. Hopefully we won't be getting that, and it will stay a bit more true to actually what it was supposed to be. Now, is anyone surprised about this news whereby Saints Row cost so much and hasn't made its money back? Phil Poi, how does this news sit with you?
So this one doesn't surprise me in the least, although I'm not the biggest fan of Saint Row, so I think it's tinged with, I think my opinion is tinged with a little bit of distaste for the series. But 100 million? That's probably not that much for a video game, especially a video game that has had multiple entries. I'm not that surprised by the price. I'm just more surprised by them wanting to buy it.
Them just putting it out in the first place and doing it to this level and thinking, yeah, it's going to be good, is wild. I suppose it goes to show you that these people, these big suits up top, just don't have a fucking clue. They're businessmen at the end of the day. They can't see the fucking wood from the trees. And it's come out to bite them in the arse. Spencer, thoughts on this?
There's no thoughts to be had, man. You said about how we all said it looked like trash fire. Do we remember that when we first saw it? No, I repressed it, mate. Saints Row looked garbage, and I can't believe anyone actually bought the game. It didn't do well. It shouldn't have done well. It looked shit. They never should have made it. Saints Row dropped off after Saints Row 3. Saints Row 4 was fine, except they gave you superpowers. You could run faster than the cars, so there was no point in stealing cars, which was one of the big things in the game anyway. All the fun in stealing cars, driving around, gone. Then the Saints Row Gat Out of Hell. No one played it, because it's shit. Fuck, drop the IP.
Can't you beat someone to death with a dildo?
In Saints Row 3, the best one, yeah.
Oh, it's only in 3, is it?
It's probably in the other ones too, because why wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
But you could do that in San Andreas, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all know how good that game is.
Phenomenal.
There's a huge correlation between beating someone to death with a dildo and it being a genre-defining game. That's all I'm saying, right? So, maybe this is what they're missing in this newest entry.
Yeah. I mean, that's just the result of the world changing and them being scared to stick to who they are. And that's not how you make a good game. It's really not. They should have just not made it. I was surprised when we first saw the game. I remember being like, Saints Row? What?
Yeah.
And then I thought, that's not going to do well. And surprise.
Yeah. It's what happens, isn't it? If you change the identity, nobody wants it anymore.
Yeah.
Same reason why Duke Nukem needs to come back and be exactly as he was in the 90s, baby. I'm calling it right now. But that's the story for another day. Let's move it on. So I'm going to chuck it back to Mr. Hoy. I hardly ever get to give you song choices. I always seem to be going to Spencer. And it means that you also get to tuck Spencer up with something really nasty, hopefully. And I get to do your flavour. So, Mr. Hoy, I would like The Rock's intro. It's a song. The wrestler The Rock. I'd like that, please. If you need a reminder, I can.
Go on, then. Give me the reminder.
If you smell what The Rock is cooking, down, 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 down. The Rock says, The Rock, down. And that's what it basically. And then it goes into like a nuts guitar solo for like 3 minutes. But yeah,
I don't remember the song at all. I remember the intro bit, so let's hit you with that. But maybe I can give you a little bit more of what The Rock actually says.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
I don't know if I can do this flavor, but it's something I was playing about with when we were actually playing WWE, if you boys recall.
Okay.
I want you to do The Rock's intro as Keith Lee.
That memorable character, Keith Lee, that no one knows.
The unstoppable force that is Keith Lee.
The unmovable object.
He's a juggernaut.
Do you know what Keith Lee sounds like?
I ain't got a fucking clue what he sounds like. I'll give you something else, but I thought that was a funny nod to what. Remember we were playing that game and I just nicked John Cena's intro and made Keith Lee do it instead?
Yeah.
And that fella with the guitar. That 5-minute intro.
Dark days.
Dark days. I'm thinking it'd be funny if you just tried doing it as a child. It's like, kids are into wrestling. Kids love it. You're what, 5 or 6? You're the biggest Rock fan in the world. You love him, and you're just trying to mimic his intro. I want to hear it.
Look, Daddy, it's The Rock. If you smell what The Rock is cooking. Quick news. Okay, guys, I've got some news about Diablo 4. The open beta is coming soon. We've got early access on the 17th of March to the 19th of March, and then we've got the open beta from the 24th of March to the 26th. Pre-purchase for early access to that open beta, guys. Let's move that around. Okay, so I'm nominating Spencer for a song. Well, seeing as we've been listening a little bit to Papa Roach,
I knew.
Breaks we've been having. Which Papa Roach song do you know? I'll be kind to you.
It is kind.
Cut my life into pieces.
Last resort.
This is my last
Okay,
resort.
we'll go last resort then.
Suffocation.
There we go. You know the words.
I know that, yeah.
Spencer, I would like you to do it. Imagine you're outside and the song comes on.
Where? What environment?
At a gig. And you come in, but you've got a mouthful of beer. Can you give me that impression, please?
Only issue there, I'm out of beer.
Oh, are you? Oh, I got some. Well, actually, you can use some of my squash.
Some of your squash.
Yeah. Enjoy, mate.
Thanks.
That's quite all right. Let's see how you do with this one, shall we?
Another strong bill, but never mind. How strong you made the squash?
It's about a 7:3 ratio
Of
water to squash,
No,
not the
of
other way around.
concentrate.
Oh, doubler. Yeah.
Water to squash.
Yeah, it's not going to be a 7:3 squash to water ratio. You insane? Go on, mate. Good luck. Not easy, is it? No. It's quite hard, isn't it? Yes, I lost last quick news because of this.
It almost went everywhere.
G to
Oh
refill,
my
G to
God.
reload.
The issue is, this is all your stuff. So me spilling everywhere. It's not on me. So you've done this. How'd you do it last time?
Well, this is the thing.
You have to be like this, surely.
Well, it turns out technique didn't cut the mustard last time.
What's the method? What's the method? I can't. What's the method?
Oh my God. Just speak.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can. There you go, like that.
Fucking hell, that was fucking solid, mind.
Yeah.
I did you dirty. I acknowledge that now.
Yep.
Quick news. So as usual, I'm the fella, you know. I'm the insider. I got all the information about the games coming to PS Plus and the games coming to PS Plus Extra and Premium. This time, I'm bringing you the latter. We have the new games coming for Extra and Premium, and they are as follows: Horizon Forbidden West, PS4 and PS5. Jeez. The Quarry, PS4 and PS5. The Game That Can't Be Mentioned 7 Biohazard, PS4. Outriders, PS4, PS5. Scarlet Nexus, PS4, PS5. Borderlands 3, PS4, PS5. Tekken 7 for the PS4. Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown, PS4. Earth Defense Force 5, PS4. Oninaki, PS4. Lost Sphere, PS4. I Am Setsuna, PS4. Great game, by the way. The Forgotten City, PS4, PS5. Now, we have the games that are coming for PS Premium only, and they are as follows: The Legend of Dragoon, PS1. Wild Arms 2, PS1. Harvest Moon Back to Nature, PS1. And finally, Destroy All Humans, PS4. So the remake. Quite the list. Especially the top two, mind. Top three?
I gotta say, this month is absolutely fantastic. And this is on all fronts. You know, normally we read through these lists. Extra's normally quite impressive. This is fucking really impressive. If you've just come into the PlayStation generation, to have Philip Hoy's #1 game from last year free on PS4 and PS5, to have that alongside, like, the Game That Can't Be Mentioned, and Outriders is supposed to be good.
Yeah.
Like, not great, but good at the very least. And fucking Tekken 7, man. Like, Tekken 7 is still just as popular today as it ever was. You know, you could just dive in and have a great time with that. For me, the games that really speak to me, Earth Defense Force 5. Have you looked at this?
Yeah, it'll be fun.
It would be great.
Yeah.
Especially if all of us get into that. 4-player action. It's basically like a easier version of Helldivers. That's what it looks like to me. And I think we could have a great time on one of Phil's free periods on a Thursday, diving into that and just really unpacking that gem, because I think it's going to be great. But I got to say, on the premium side, Legend of fucking Dragoon, an actual full bona fide classic. Like, one of the ones that people, when they talk about remaking a game for PlayStation 5, Legend of Dragoon comes up in every single fucking conversation. It's a game I've never played, and I know it's got full trophy support.
Ooh.
It's a game I'm going to redeem, and it's going to sit there and wait until I get the time, because I do not have time right now.
So it's never getting played.
It might get played if we get to a patch. If we get a patch, I would love to, because it's one of those things it's a black hole in my gaming catalog.
Yeah.
And I know I need to rectify it, and I know I need to know about this game, because everything I've heard from everyone is overwhelmingly positive, and I feel like a dick for not playing it. It's like not playing Final Fantasy VII or something, you know? It's one of those experiences, you know, and I'm doing that for both of you guys who haven't played it. But it's one of those things that, like, everyone should really have played, you know, an experience. And it's up there with that, let alone Wild Arms, which I've never played. And Destroy All Humans would be a good laugh. Yeah. And so I'm happy that's out, even though there is a PS5 version of that, if I remember rightly. I think, didn't they patch that for a PS5 version as well?
I don't think so.
I'd have to check. But either way, happy it's on PS4 at the very least.
Yeah.
To dive in, dumb fun. And, you know, who doesn't want to suck up cows and that? As an alien. Take that where you will.
Yeah, I took it a certain way. Phil, mate, what are your thoughts on this list?
Well, Spence, I think it's absolutely incredible. And especially for you. I'm so happy for you that you have the opportunity now to play Horizon Forbidden West, because I've been talking up this game. Davey's a big fan. You need to go through this, and you need to get the platinum, because you're missing out. Yeah. And now's the best time ever to be jumping in, because it's free. It's part of your catalogue. So why not? But going down further on the list, this Legend of Dragoon, I've never heard of it.
Have you not?
I've never heard of this game, right? And it came up on Twitter, and the amount of likes, the amount of love, the amount of chat that it generated, I was like, what even is this game? I thought it was a joke. I looked at it, and I didn't even recognize it.
That's crazy to me, man. I mean, like, I know, actually, it shouldn't be too surprising to me because you've never been an RPG guy, have you? Yeah, JRPG guy. Yeah, it's just not been, it was not your cup of tea back on the PS1 gen when arguably it was at its biggest, the JRPG cycle back then. You know, you had Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, A Legend of Dragoon, and kind of everything else that comes alongside those. And so if you weren't in at that point, why would you get into it later, you know? That was kind of the golden era for it, I guess.
The mind absolutely boggled when I saw it because I just didn't recognize it at all. But yeah, you're right. I just wouldn't have got in at the time. And I guess it's just another one of those games along with Final Fantasy that it's just a black hole in my gaming catalog because I've never played those style of games really. But here's the opportunity. Maybe I need to dig in.
Yeah, and I tell you what, when I do eventually get to this, because I will not let this sit there without playing it. I don't know how long it would take. It may be like a Mass Effect situation where I eventually get around to it. Mass Effect, as the audience knows, I've made a New Year's resolution that I will play through the trilogy by the end of the year. I've made that promise. It will happen. We're only in February, getting into March. Phil, I think it's one of those things that if I come out of that experience and I think, yeah, it holds up today, you know, no nostalgia going in, you know, a full fresh experience. If I come out of that and say, yeah, you know, it's stunning, you need to, maybe that would be extra fuel to the fire for you to give it a chance and try it out.
The only reason I'm carrying on this conversation is so we can put it in the description of the show because we're going to get more listeners just by mentioning this game. It's that popular. Oh my God, it is that popular.
Yeah, it's going to be it's a nutty game, and I'm happy for all you guys who have an opportunity to go back and relive the nostalgia that comes with this, and I just hope to God it lives up to that. Spence, what are your thoughts on this list?
Well, my thoughts on this list, let me scroll back up to the top. Obviously, Horizon Forbidden West, massive game to be on this list, but I had access to your copy anyway, because you got it digital and we share. So I've been able to play it since the day it came out, and I haven't, because I haven't finished Zero Dawn. I did put like 10 hours into it, but I never finished it, and I just had other shit to play. I think Elden Ring came out, or something came out.
Yeah, it did. They were very close together.
Yeah, and there was no chance. Not a chance in hell. Quarry? No, I'm not going to bother.
No, don't bother.
Game of the Kombat mentioned 7, got it, phenomenal. And then there are other games that do stand out to me, like Scarlet Nexus. I've heard quite a bit about. It's supposed to be all right.
Yeah, if it's okay.
Borderlands 3, literally not seen anything about it other than the menu lags. That's it. All I know. Could be fun to test out. Tekken 7, I'm not going to dip into it. Just because we've got, Street Fighter 6 on the horizon. Ooh,
yeah.
I'm not dipping into Tekken 7 now. But the other games that do stand out to me are Oninaki. Because Japanese, you know, like that shit. Lost Fear, I think I already own. And I Am Setsuna, I have that on my Switch. And I put maybe 12 hours into it. Phenomenal JRPG. And I just didn't put more time into it because it's on the Switch. And that's the only reason. So if I get it for free on my PS5, I'd be quite keen to jump back into it because it was excellent. Very much excellent. In terms of the premium games, I've heard of Legend of Dragoon. I've not actually seen much of it. Not going to jump in. Can't be asked. Too long game. Don't have the time. It's not... I've got to be selective about what I jump into now.
Yeah, this is the problem.
Yeah, and Destroy All Humans, it could be fun to jump in, earn some trophies, get a platy. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the list for me. I mean, it's a great list. Definitely one of the best lists we've probably had since Extra launch.
It's got to be the best month, I think.
Yeah, it probably is, yeah.
Surely it's got to be. I mean, even Horizon being in there on its own is such big dick energy.
Yeah, huge.
You know, massive. And to think, could this be the start now that we wait a year after launch and it comes into Extra? Could this be setting the precedent? Because
it is exactly a year on.
Yeah, because Horizon's huge. It sold well. It did really, really well last year. Even against really strict competition with Elden Ring. And for it to do as well as it did, a system seller for the PS5, 100%, you know, it's visually stunning. Could this be it? Could it be now a case that we get to, say, next November, or this November even, and Ragnarok ends up in there? I can't see it myself.
I can't see it.
But
not Ragnarok.
Do you think it's going to be like a more title-by-title situation, guys? Or do you think it's going to be something that, yeah, why the hell not? Give it a year. chuck it in. What do you think? Thoughts?
I wouldn't say a year. Not for God of War. Maybe longer. But at the same time, I don't know, all the sales are still selling. Still selling now.
It's early days yet, though.
It is early days, but I God of War, I don't know, man. It's God of War. One of the best games I've ever played. It's one of the best games I've ever played.
What about you, Mr. Hoy? What do you think? Do you think this is the start of the precedent now? And a year on from now, we start seeing every year from the launch of the game, we see them land into the extra catalogue?
I don't think we're going to see it that regularly. I think now and again, just to show some return to the people who have invested in premium and extra, that we get a big title. I don't think it's going to be every month. Definitely not. But now and again, I think you will see these sort of bigger titles sort of crop up just to sort of build the interest and get people subscribing to this service. Because unless we get these big blockbusters, you know, I'm a skeptic. I can't see people continuing to run this service if we're not getting these bigger titles.
Yeah, I suppose I kind of feel the same as you guys. I think it's going to be definitely a case-by-case scenario. And I think if they can see that the momentum's kind of run out of the game, that it doesn't have the legs that they thought it might do. And I suppose with Horizon's case, it makes perfect sense because you got the DLC coming up. You got a DLC in 2 months. It gives people a chance that haven't bought it before. They can dive in on this, try it for free. Maybe they get sucked into it and they buy the DLC. People who've already bought it, the millions of people that already have, a huge percentage of those, I imagine, will be wanting to come back for the DLC. So this is a way to be able to expand that reach and get a potential new audience to go in and buy that DLC in April when it comes out.
And forgive me if I'm wrong, you know, Horizon is one of the best DLCs that we've ever had for the original game that you played through. Was it Frozen Wilds?
Yeah, Frozen Wilds was excellent. It was absolutely excellent. So I have no doubt in my mind that Guerrilla can knock it out of the park when it comes to this DLC. You know, and as much as I've shit on Horizon, I need to make this clear. As much as I've shit on it in the past, I fucking loved it. It was still great. It was absolutely great. And my only criticism is because I care so much about the franchise. And that's why I'm so critical. Same as I would be for the game that can't be mentioned or anything like that. It's from a place of love. And so, yeah, I can't fucking wait to dive into the DLC in April. And if this gets more eyes on that, hell yeah. It's smart marketing as far as I'm concerned. And if Ragnarok comes out and it had DLC, which I can't imagine it would do, it doesn't seem like the title that would, you could bet your ass it would come into here before that DLC launches. It just makes sense. So we'll watch by ear though. If we get to November and God of War ends up in there, then I think the precedent's set. But we'll see. Watch this space.
All right, great place to close that, I think. Let's move it on. So I'm passing now to you, Davey.
You are indeed.
I am. Ooh. My song for you is a song that you've done before.
Oh.
Many episodes ago.
Okay.
On the kazoo.
All right, okay.
I'd like to hear the battle theme from Final Fantasy VII.
All right, okay.
And what's the flavour, Mr. Hoy? King Hoy, actually, for the last episode.
Last episode, you can acknowledge me as that.
Yeah.
Acknowledge me. I want to hear you do that as a gorilla.
All right. Quick news. I got some sad news. Or I suppose it's kind of sad and also hopeful at the same time, depending on your outlook. Shinji Mikami. You may know him from such series as the series which cannot be mentioned. If you're brand new to the show, then there's 8 different versions of this game. And if we say what the series is, we have to take a shot.
It's more than 8.
Yeah. It has characters such as Jill Valentine and Leon in it. If you can't figure that out, then...
There was a couple of movies as well, wasn't there?
There is, yeah.
A couple of shows.
Yeah, we won't go into it too much. Anyway, he's the guy who created that series. And he's been working as part of Tango Gameworks, a brand new company that he founded after he left from the game that can't be mentioned 4. When he left from Capcom, went on to form Tango. Tango since in that time, they put out the Evil Within 1 and 2, which are absolutely fantastic, especially the Evil Within 2. And they've also recently put out Ghostwire Tokyo, which came out last year to PlayStation 5, to kind of middling scores, and the wildly successful Hi-Fi Rush on Xbox. Now, Tango, if you didn't know, they've been bought as part of the Bethesda deal, and they're now owned by Xbox. So they're over in the losers camp. But Shinji Mikami has left there, and there is a note up by Bethesda themselves, which I'm going to read verbatim. We can confirm that Shinji Mikami has decided to leave Tango Gameworks in the coming month. We thank him for his work as a creative leader and supportive mentor to young developers on the Evil Within franchise, Ghostwire Tokyo, and of course Hi-Fi Rush. We wish Mikami-san well in the future and are excited about what lies ahead for the talented developers at Tango. Now, guys, it's important for me to stress here that, fortunately, at Tango, Shinji Mikami has done a really smart thing here in that he's not put all the eggs on his basket, so to speak. So, when it comes to Evil Within 2, it was actually developed by a junior developer. So, it was a guy that was, I think, originally worked on the sound for Evil Within 1, and then Shinji Mikami saw potential in him and put him up to a director's role and said, I want to nurture you, and put him into that position and then mentored him so that they could develop future talent. Really, really smart guy. Great way to run a studio, and that's perfect leadership, that is, for running your studio and perfecting the future of it, because obviously Mikami's been going for a long time. What excites me by this is that it means that Tango will hopefully be able to still continue on the form that they're on, because I don't think that, him stepping away shouldn't have too much impact other than the fact they lose that person to go to as a mentor role. But it means he's now a free agent. So for us on the PlayStation side, we could potentially get into a situation where Shinji Mikami could come home. And he could come back to us.
Coming home.
It's coming.
Coming home.
Shinji's coming home. He's coming home. But can you imagine? Imagine if you got something where you got Shinji Mikami and he somehow found his way to work with Kojima. Talk about a fucking horror duo. Can you imagine that? Like, the guy who made PT, the guy who made the game which cannot be mentioned, together under PlayStation's banner. That's my fucking dream come true. But for me, it just opens the doors of possibilities. So as sad as this is to see someone go from a beloved studio, it just opens the doors for excitement. So, Mr. Hoy, I'm passing it back to you for number 2. So in terms of songs, I've kind of set a precedent here with some wrestling songs, and I quite like it, I'm not going to lie. I want to hear Edge's song.
Which Edge song? New Edge? Old Edge?
Well, he's had the
Do you
same
think you know me?
Yeah, you think you know me. On this day, I see clearly everything's come to light.
That's New Edge.
Is it?
Yeah, okay.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
it's New Edge.
Yeah, I want that one. I want that one, please.
The flavour is that you're drunk and then you still had 20 more beers.
Oh, so fucked.
You're fucked. You should really be home. Chances are you're sleeping in a hospital.
Or in the back of the taxi going to fuck knows where.
Yeah.
With that meter running up.
Yeah.
You're in Inverness, sorry, mate.
Okie doke. You think you know me? On this day, I see clearly has come to life. Quick news. Okay, guys. The Evo Champion Series announced their lineup for this year, guys. This is going through August 4th to 6th, and here are the games. We have Street Fighter 6. Way! Guilty Gear Strive. Way! I'm not going to do this after every single one. Dragon Ball Z Fighters Z. Tekken 7. King of Fighters 15. Melty Blood. Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Ultimate. And that's not it, guys. The Capcom Pro Tour Street Fighter 6 prize pot is $2 million. And that's with $1 million for the final. So even if you're not into fighting games, that is going to be a hype final to tune into because there's big money on the line. And we don't get that often in fighting games. I think that's the biggest, right?
It's a huge sum. It's a massive sum. And I mean, with this, what a way to launch Street Fighter 6. say that there's tournaments all over the world. Tournaments starting, you can sign up from the PlayStation homepage to be able to dive into these or attend to the locals. Can you imagine going to Combo Breaker or doing something like that this year with Street Fighter 6, where everyone's around the same skill level and you're diving at that point? It just has the highest potential for a random to get far and to earn big stacks in fighting games.
Yeah.
And it's just huge. I mean, we normally see this kind of prize pot with NetherRealm, but to see this kind of prize pot for Capcom and for Street Fighter 6 goes to show how much they're pushing this year. And to be honest, if I was Capcom, I would not be worried at all, because this game is going to fucking fly off shelves.
Yeah.
It's going to be insane. Yeah, huge news. And for me, the most exciting thing about this, fucking Marvel, baby.
Marvel, baby.
It's Marvel, baby. Getting Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Evo, that means you've definitely got my attention.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I was going to be watching for Street Fighter 6 anyway, because I'm going to be new. I'm going to be in that phrase. I want to see as much as I can. I want to soak that knowledge in. But now I got two choices, because there's no way I ain't missing Marvel. No way am I missing Marvel. Does this mean potentially that we might be seeing Marvel vs. Capcom 4 on the horizon?
After Infinite, I hope not.
Judging by what they're doing with Street Fighter 6, I'd say lessons have been learned. This is hype as fuck for me. I'm so in for this. So in.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, same. I can't say anything that's not repeating you, mate. Street Fighter 6, best fighting game I've ever played already. And I've played it for a weekend, ages ago, whilst it was in beta. Best fighting game I've ever played. Marvel fucking 3. Well, I can't believe it's back. Can't believe it's back. What a game. I actually learned it for a little while. I was shit. But people just hit you and you're dead. It's so sick. What a great game. I think that'll be so fun to watch, especially if Justin Wong comes back.
He will.
Definitely.
Yeah, he will.
He'll
be back.
If he comes back, it's going to be sick. He's going to win it. But it's also going to be great. And then the other games as well. Freaking Guilty Gear Strive. Love that game. Tekken? I don't give a shit about Tekken. The other games are fine.
Dragon Ball, to see the Cell intro.
Yeah, sick. That's actually sick. And Mortal Kombat as well, we'll watch.
Yeah.
Probably. So, the only games I wouldn't watch on that list are Multi Blood, KOF, and Tekken.
Yeah.
What a great showing.
Yeah, fantastic.
Fantastic showing.
Fantastic. In fact, even last year, when Evo was on, I didn't watch much, but me and Lottie watched Tekken.
Yeah.
And we just thought, we'll check it out. Fucking exciting. Mega exciting. And I don't even understand it at all, Tekken. I haven't played Tekken since Tekken Tag 1. I played a little bit of Tekken Tag 2, I guess. But yeah, really, really hype. So I think this year, whenever you got a brand new fighter, a big dick fighter like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, always hype as fuck. And so this one's definitely one I'm going to be tuned in. I'll have the cooler out, boys. Nachos out, beers out, dicks out. Let's just fucking get into this and just start watching Street Fighter.
I'm so game.
It's going to be class. It's going to be great. What are your thoughts on this lineup, Phil? You excited by it?
I haven't been watching Evo for a number of years now, but seeing this lineup, I'm in 100%. As you guys said, there's some incredible titles there, and especially because we're going to be invested in Street Fighter 6. We're going to be day oneers, and we're going to be wanting to play as much and see as much of that game as possible. So yes, every match, I'm going to be tuned in.
Let's pick up some tech. See what they can learn from us in it when we're at Evo Finals for that million. I think it's only a matter of time, boys. We'll see, though. We'll see.
Right, passing that over to Spence now. Spence, I'm going to name the song. Davey, you're going to give him some flavour, all right?
Sounds good to me.
Spencer, how big of a Shania Twain fan are you?
Who?
Because, man, I feel like a woman.
Oh, is that the... Feel like a woman.
Let's
Alright,
go,
yeah.
girls.
Yeah. I know that part of that song.
Going out tonight, feeling alright. Gonna lay it out on the town.
I know the first line.
Best thing about being a woman is the prerogative to have a little fun and
Okay,
totally
yeah.
crazy.
Totally crazy.
Feel like a lady.
What's the flavour, mate? Come on. It's my impression.
Short skirts. I want.
He's upset you put that song on me instead of him.
I just love that song, man. I just feel like a woman. I want you to do it as a woman, please. Man, I feel like a woman.
I gotta take my top off. Hang on.
Oh yeah. Oh, here we go. Here we
I
go.
don't have to. I won't. How could I? Oh, Cammy's pose I could do.
Can he get in the mind frame for a woman without taking his top off?
Depends. What am I annoyed at? I've got to be annoyed at something, don't I? All right. I feel like if I do it, I'm going to do it more like a gay guy than a girl.
Well, try it. Try it. I want to hear you go. You do a great girl.
So go, let's go, girls. All right. That's a joke. Let's go, girls. Dude, come on.
Come on.
I'm going out tonight. I'm feeling all right. Gonna let it all hang out. I don't know how the song goes. Wanna make some noise. Really raise my voice. Yeah, I wanna scream and shout. Quick news. Hogwarts Legacy is back. It's back. We're talking about it again. This time, quite a positive note though. Unsurprisingly, it has had a massive launch. The numbers are in. Hogwarts Legacy has sold over 12 million units in its first 2 weeks, earning $850 million in revenue. It reached this milestone even faster than last year's juggernaut game of the year, Elden Ring. Who's surprised?
Yeah, not really.
No.
Not really. I mean, it's still mega impressive. 12 million units. I mean, it's wild. It's Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
And it's a good game.
It is a good game.
Good game in Harry Potter is fatal combination for anyone competing around it. So, yeah, well done. Well done.
Phil, you surprised about this?
Saw it a mile off, mate. It's pretty obvious, right?
Yeah.
Harry Potter, massive IP. It's going to sell loads,
Yeah.
regardless of what's going on.
Yeah. Nice quick one, that, boys. All in agreement.
Yeah.
Lovely one. All right. Moving on. Davey. I want to hear, man, I feel like a woman.
Okay. We're doing it again. We're going back in.
I feel like you want to do it, so I want to give it to
Oh,
you.
all right. Okay. What's my flavour, Phil? What damage you doing on me?
I want you to do it as Mario.
Let's go, girls.
From the Super Mario Brothers.
Okay. Let's go, girls. Dun, 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 dun. Come on. I'm good going out tonight. I'm feeling all right. Gonna let it all hang out. Woohoo! Gonna make some noise. Woo! Really raise my voice. Woo! Yeah, I wanna scream and shout. Woohoo! Wah! The best. Oh, yeah. It's just gonna go on for more. Where's more? Woo! 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 Oh dear God. Oh dear God. That was a lot harder than you think. Mario doesn't speak. No wonder Chris Pratt changed the voice. Quick news. Lies of P is releasing in August. So the much anticipated game, which is a kind of Dark Souls-like game where you play as Pinocchio on a rampage, which we are all on this podcast at least partially interested. I think it's been on our Shag, Marry, Kill list quite a number of times. We now know it's coming out in August, so clear your schedules around then, guys, because this game is going to be a good one. I can feel it tingling in my balls. Mr. Hoy, for your song today, I've been doing a lot of wrestling ones, but it's time to spice it up, I think. I want to hear He-Man.
Okay. And the Masters of the Universe?
Yeah. The classics.
Okay, I'll bring them along.
Bring 'em along. Ooh, the flavour. I'm looking into your eyes. I can't tell. If he's salt and vinegar kind of guy, prawn cocktail. What's his kind of flavour? What does he usually go for?
It's a smoky bacon kind of guy
Smoky bacon.
to me.
Well then, do it like a pig.
Do it like a pig. Christ. How the f- are you doing this like a pig?
Oink that shit, boy.
I am Prince Adam, Prince of Eternia, defender of the secrets of the Castle Grayskull.
That's all I'm going to do in between the words.
This is Cringer, my fearless friend. Fabulous secret powers were revealed to me the day I held aloft my magic sword.
Oink, oink. By the power of Grayskull.
I have the power.
Oink. Quick,
news. So, guys, The Expanse Telltale game has got a new trailer, and we're going to be including the links in the description of the podcast. So join Kamina Drummer on board her scavenger ship in the belt, and let's fill in that story in between the TV series of The Expanse, which I'm a massive fan of. Yeah, check it out. As I said, link in the description of the show. I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be good. Right, throwing it back to Spencer. So I've got one more song for you.
Lay it on me.
Now, I think I'm looking at you and I'm saying you're probably a fan of the Powerpuff Girls when you were, well, you probably still are.
Yeah.
Would I
True.
be correct?
You are correct, yeah.
Let's go for the Powerpuff Girls intro.
Okay.
I want to do it like as if you've just done a shitload of helium.
How am I supposed to do that without actual helium?
Just really high.
Sugar, spice, and everything nice. These were the ingredients chosen to create the perfect little girls. But Professor Utonium accidentally added an extra ingredient to the concoction. Chemical X. Thus, the Powerpuff Girls were born using their ultra superpowers. Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup have dedicated their lives to fight crime and the forces of evil.
Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Down 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 hill. Down 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 down. So you're getting.
Yeah, quick news, quick news. Thank you for that as well. Thank you for joining me on that.
It's quite right.
Quick news. The final, is this final bit of news?
Final bit of news, and it's breaking news. Only came out today.
Damn, breaking news, only out today. Hearing it first, listen, well, probably not. It releases in like 4 days, 5 days. But when you hear it, we recorded it the day it came out. Remember that? Quick on it. Mortal Kombat 12. Woo! Jeez. As if Street Fighter 6 wasn't enough. It's leaked, and it's leaked from an unexpected source. Warner Bros. Themselves. Fucking idiots. They had an investor call, a Discovery investor call, and they just talked about it. Just fucking, was just like, oh yeah, Mortal Kombat 12, by the way. Just not thinking about the fact they haven't announced the game. So now it's coming out, and this year as well.
It's absolutely wild to me. I mean, for them to be on there, and I listened to the call, the section where it was on, and the CEO is saying, yeah, obviously this year we got 2 big titles coming out. We've got Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, which has a lot of excitement building for it,
No doubt.
and of course NetherRealm are bringing Mortal Kombat 12 releasing this year. And it's like, excuse me? Are you fucking serious?
So, of course, yeah, of course, yeah.
For me, I was a little bit gutted about this, not gonna lie. Not just because we've got Street Fighter 6. So how are we supposed to balance these? I thought it was Injustice 3 that was going to be next.
It'd have been nice.
And so I'm kind of gutted, if I'm honest.
It also kind of leans toward Injustice might be done
Yeah.
if they're going straight to MK12. Because to be fair, the money's in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Yeah, there is. And I guess with DC now, you know, we were talking about it only a few episodes ago about the new plan, the structure where everything's got to feed into their overarching story,
yeah.
doesn't it, and all that stuff. Does Injustice feed into that anymore? There's rumours that NetherRealm was going to be sold off as well, and so that could have potentially been the reason why Warner wouldn't want them to give them their own bread and butter with DC, which they own. Makes sense. But even so, I mean, I'm excited for Mortal Kombat. I suppose the question is, guys, are you excited by this news? And also, when do you reckon we're going to see it?
I'd say I'm excited by the news. I think we'll get it October, November.
Okay.
I'm not playing it. I refuse. I won't play it probably until 2 or 3 years' time, when all the DLC's out, games out, or really when I'm done with Street Fighter 6, which I'm hoping is fucking never.
Yeah.
I will not try to juggle 2 fighting games of this level at the same time. I don't have it in me. So I'm excited. I'm sure it's going to be great. I'll love to watch it. Will I play it? Yeah, I probably will. But I'm going to say now that I won't. But I'm probably going to buy it day one, let's be real.
What about yourself, Mr. Hoy? How are you feeling about this news?
I'm 100% the same as Spencer, really. It's going to be so hard to play multiple fighting games with Street Fighter 6 being the game that we're all going to be playing. like, why would I spend any time in Mortal Kombat 12 when I need to spend all my time in Street Fighter just to keep up with you boys? Traditionally, you've always ended up slightly better than me at fighting games, but I think Street Fighter 6, I'm going to give you a little bit more of a run for your money, and I need all the time I can take to keep up.
Yeah, I think, unfortunately, guys, I'm falling the same line as you. As much as I love Mortal Kombat, and I do, Street Fighter, when it hits, has always been my favourite fighter. And so if it's a contest between the two, Street Fighter's going to win. And the only reason I played Mortal Kombat 11 is because Street Fighter 5 was shit. And I stand by that. So, and that's why I went to Mortal Kombat and I loved it. If it was Injustice, this would be fucking criminally hard for me. If it was a choice between Injustice or Street Fighter, I think I'd have to somehow juggle both. I love it more than anything. So it would be really tough. But with Mortal Kombat, I mean, I don't know. I mean, we're bound to see it now at Summer Game Fest.
Yeah.
And if it comes out and it looks fucking stunning, which it will.
It will.
It would look amazing. You remember when Mortal Kombat 11 came out and the graphics were just like drop dead gorgeous? This will be the decider. I'm putting it on the podcast right now. If Kenshi is shown, he's my favourite character from Mortal Kombat, wasn't in 11. He's a blind guy with a samurai sword. He's got like psychic powers.
I know who he is, yeah.
If he's in it, I'm buying it day one. That's the rule. If it's not, and I got to play Sub-Zero and Scorpion, I might sit on it. It depends. I don't like the idea of juggling both, but I will if it looks fucking incredible.
Yeah.
I'm giving myself a way out here. I win no matter what in this example. But I reckon we're going to see it at Summer Game Fest, guys. So I don't think we got long. And it could even now be pushed up. Because Ed Boon was on Twitter and he's like, well, at least you know there's no Injustice 3 now.
Yeah.
And, you know, it must be gutting for them. It must be really gutting for NetherRealm to have kept this under such, like, lock and key. And then for their own CEO to leak it.
Yeah.
Just fucking absolutely self-destructive. But is what it is. Video game business is a business at the end of the day, and your investors are your customers. So it makes sense.
Well, that brings us on nicely to the end of Quick News. We've had some wicked impressions tonight. Davey has given us his flavour in a Welsh accent. We've also had the Final Fantasy theme tune as a gorilla. And he's felt like a woman with a bit of Yahoo as Mario. Spencer was his last resort with his full mouth. He's felt like a woman as a woman. And he's also huffed some helium and sung us the Powerpuff Girls intro. I've given you The Rock as a child. I've been a drunk Edge and a pig He-Man. So there's a full range there for you to indulge yourself with. Now, guys, I want to bring it over to Davey first. Which one was your favourite? Give me your reasons why.
Favourite's a tough one. I think I'm going to give it to your He-Man. Because it was just...
All right.
It was terrible. But the fact you said oink oink, which was really bad, just actually made it. It was so bad that it was fun. And I really, really enjoyed it. So that would be my favourite tonight.
Oh, thanks, mate. Oink oink to you. Spence.
Yes, mate.
What was your favourite?
I immediately knew my favourite. Mine was also the He-Man pig. It was funny
Brilliant.
anyway. It was just funny. And then just randomly just oink oink just made it so fucking funny. I loved that impression. It was really good.
How would you know I was a pig if I didn't oink?
Just
Not enough.
No one thinks about pigs making that noise, but they do.
Yeah, they do. Love it. They love that noise. What about yourself, Mr. Hoy? Who are you giving the accolade to today?
I really liked how you handled the gorilla because I thought that was ultimately impossible and you did very well. I didn't know the song. I don't know Final Fantasy. I just like you doing impressions of gorillas.
Well.
So there's my win.
Thank
Doesn't
you.
mean anything. I've already won this section.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean anything either. But here's what it is.
Unfortunately not. Right. Time to punch down. Davey, what was your weakest one?
Easily Spencer's gargling. For one, he realised...
Do you hear the anger in his voice?
For one, he realised how hard I had it last time, and I actually you could hear that I was actually singing. Whereas you couldn't even make a word.
I physically couldn't, no. I couldn't do anything.
I overcame that feeling of drowning to sing you the Backstreet Boys
I
last
can't
time,
swim.
and you dunked down on me.
Can't swim,
And this,
mate, it's a fear.
yeah, and this time you had to hum it.
Yeah.
So it was a complete failure.
Yeah.
That's my one. I did do you dirty, but it was
Acknowledged, mate. Acknowledged.
it was revenge.
Well, that's never a flavour we'll repeat. Actually, Phil's next.
yeah.
Spence, what was your weakest one? Time for some payback.
My weakest. I was thinking your first one
Hmm.
wasn't the gorilla, was it?
No, it's a Welsh accent.
Was it the Welsh accent, the first one you did?
Craig David, what's your flavour?
Yeah.
The first one I remember was really
What's your-
bad.
What's your flavour in Welsh?
First one was really bad, and then you even ended it saying, that's going to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Fair
It
enough.
was yeah. Plus, there was a point where it went a bit Irish.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it went quite heavily Irish.
It fully went Irish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was listening to it, I was like, that's not Welsh at all.
It started Welsh. It
The
Welsh.
first sentence was Welsh.
Yeah, and then it descended into Irish at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my choice.
Oh, fair enough. What about yourself, Mr. Hoy?
That's one apiece. For me, I also thought Spencer's last one descended into Irish as well, because you can actually do an Irish accent. You doing the Powerpuff Girls with Helium, that did sound a little Irish
That
towards
went
the end.
Irish.
It did, yeah.
Replay it, you'll hear what I meant. But your worst one, because you could never do an impression of a woman, and that's probably why Davey gave it you, is Man, I Feel Like a Woman as a woman. Because your voice as a woman is just you.
It was, yeah. It was. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was so fucking full of rage.
Yeah.
That yeah.
It's not very
it was.
fair, man. You guys know I can't do it, and you still just keep giving it me.
You think you get better though? At some
No.
point, right? Like the more you
Wrong.
do it, the better.
Or
you
just
get.
practice at home.
yeah, practice.
No. I'm not
just take yourself into the bathroom, look yourself in the mirror, and just
My
do a girl's
parents
voice
would
to
be
yourself.
mega concerned if I went on practicing sounding like a woman.
Would they be more concerned with that, or the fact that you can't walk from the amount of shots that you have from speaking like a woman and failing?
They've met me, so they'd be more concerned about me pretending to be a woman.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, I come on bladdered every weekend.
Or if you went home and started doing an impression of a pig to yourself,
Oink, oink.
I think that would be equally as distressing.
Yeah, might be.
To find your son oinking in the bathroom to himself.
Just reeing.
You walk out, your mum's so disappointed. You're like, it's the podcast, man.
You wouldn't understand, Mum.
It's for the podcast. It's for the boys.
She'd be like, Dave, you made me do it. And she was like, wait until I speak to that Matthew.
I'll tell his mother again. Oh dear.
Oh, well, Spence, unfortunately, you've lost this week, so that's another one in the dock.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's move this on to the rumours. Kick it! You wake up with a rumour and you don't want to go. You ask if it's confirmed and they still say no.
So, guys, rumour has it we're finally here. And also, how strange, by the way, that my jingle, what we're playing, is introduced by Davey. Davey's jingle, Quick News, is introduced by Phil. And Phil's jingle, rumour has it, is introduced by me. What a turn of events.
Yeah, I never thought about it, to be honest.
Yeah, how strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't really make that much sense, does it? Really?
No, none at all.
No.
Yeah. Just kind of noticed it.
Yeah.
How bizarre. Oh well. We have a new rumour from Insider Gaming. This is just a paragraph, really. It's quite a bit of news, but I'm just going to read it verbatim and then hopefully get your lads' thoughts. How are we feeling? Good, yeah?
Sounds perfect.
Let's do it.
Here we go. Insider Gaming sources have revealed that Sony is developing wireless earbuds and a new wireless headset for the PlayStation 5, both of which are scheduled to release towards the end of fiscal year 23, so April 2023 to March 2024. The earbuds, named Project Nomad, will have an approximate battery life of around 5 hours, which is almost identical to Apple's AirPods, but slightly less than Sony's WF-1000XM3's 6-hour battery life. Of course, just like almost all wireless earbuds on the market, the Nomad will come with a charging case that can be charged via a USB-C cable to the PlayStation 5. In addition, the same connection method will be used for the wireless earbud updates on the PS5. As well as the earbuds, sources have also said that the company is developing a new wireless headset for the PlayStation 5 named Voyager, really cool name, and is also aiming to be released at a similar time to Nomad. It's understood that the Voyager headset has similar functionality to the InZone H7 headset, but its price point is yet to be determined. Although not confirmed by sources, what makes both products' release dates particularly interesting is their proposed release date. Last year, Insider Gaming exclusively reported that Sony is developing a new PlayStation 5 with a detachable disc drive. You might remember that, we covered it. Which is expected to hit shelves in September 2023. If both scheduled release dates are met, it could suggest that Sony is planning a serious relaunch of sorts for the console. Quite a big dump of information there, so I do apologise, lads, but let's get into it, shall we? First, let's just talk about Project Nomad. Start with that, the earbuds, the Apple AirPod equivalent, but for your PlayStation 5. Bit strange. Does anyone have any thoughts as to why they could be doing this?
Well, for me, I read this article and I walked away quite confused. Because who's sat there on their PlayStation 5 with earbuds in? They've decided not to listen to the TV. They've decided not to use their surround sound system. They've decided not to use their headphones, which would give you superior sound. They've gone for wireless earbuds. It doesn't make sense to me for a PlayStation 5, but where it does make sense for me is maybe the possibility of a new mobile console. Dun, dun, dun. And that's what I'm thinking. PS5 Vita.
I love where your head is. You and me have taken this and kind of thought the same thing, but I'm kind of thinking slightly differently from you. So instead of that, I was thinking about the fact that they could just really push the kind of mobile aspect to the PlayStation 5 in terms of being able to pick it up on your phone and to be able to have that kind of wireless interconnectivity between the two and take your phones kind of on the go. You know, Xbox are really pushing that. It's a big thing that Xbox are really touting, with the ability to be able to take your games wherever you are, and as long as you've got an internet connection, good to go kind of thing. I can see PlayStation really just saying, right, well, we invested all that money into Gaikai years ago. It's paid off to a certain extent. You know, the streaming is much better now than it used to be years ago on PlayStation 4. Yeah, let's just take it to the next level. And to be fair, Sony, they make high-end earphones of all sorts at the moment. All they have to do really is slap some PlayStation branding on it. And I'm sure that somebody might think, do you know what? I wear earpods when I'm at the gym. I quite like to rep PlayStation. Let's go for it, right? If they're of high quality, who cares what they fucking use it for? It might not even be for gaming. It might just be if they're a high level of quality. It's a way to get some extra advertising out. They make them anyway. Just reskin them and put PlayStation branding on them. White with blue tips, done. PlayStation on the logo or PS5 on it, sorted. It's not really that much of a huge, marketing push. I don't think you'd have to do with it. It's just something there for those that enjoy earbuds. There's probably loads of people that play games with earbuds. We're not that target market. We've all got high-end headphones. But I'm sure there's a market out there where they feel like there must be a certain subset of our gamers that do play with earbuds exclusively. So maybe it's just for them. But yeah, I'm thinking more of the mobile aspect rather than a handheld, as much as I would fucking love them to crack the mobile market, because it's definitely, they're just seeding it to Nintendo. As we said so many times on this podcast before, you need to get involved, Sony. The Vita was fucking incredible, and it just never went anywhere. But I think with VR on their plate, I don't know if they'd want to have another SKU. And I can't see them being able to juggle VR, handheld, and PS5 all at the same time. We don't have the devs for it. And so that's why, yeah, I can't see that being a possibility as much as I'd love it. So what are your thoughts on this then, Spence?
My thoughts on Nomad. I mean, I use Apple AirPods every damn day. Literally every day. On my Android phone as well. It's a bit of a mismatch. But would I like some Sony equivalents? Yes, I would. Will I use them on my PS5? No. Absolutely not. What the fuck? Not a chance in hell. There's no reason to. I mean, the last time I used earbuds on my PS5 was today, but it was in VR. It was literally today.
Right.
But it was in VR with the little earbuds that come with it. The ones you can clip into your VR. They work really well.
They're good.
Yeah.
They're good. I rate them.
They're really good. And probably when I play VR, that's probably what I'm going to use. Because there's no reason to even use your headset unless you want 3D audio, which...
Well, the little earbuds have 3D audio.
So, that's mad.
It's just a case that they're just not as powerful. It's not as rich of a sound you'd get from full-on headphones.
I listened earlier, it sounded a bit tinny at some points.
Yeah.
But it's just stuff like that. They're just not as good, but they're great. There's great little earphones that you just get for free with your VR. The only thing I can think of is Nomad being kind of a wireless solution to earbuds with your VR. I think that's where it'd be applied. And like mobile gaming, like you boys have said. But there's no need for it. Because those little earphones that come with the VR, the wire's long enough and it doesn't get in the way.
If the sound quality's there, though.
Why would the sound be better when it's wireless?
No, but if they're a real expensive... I've tried a few different types of earpods, like earbuds. And the difference between like a really cheap set and an expensive set, there's a world of difference there.
It's massive, but...
Yeah, and so it could just be the premium model for that, for those that think, yeah, do you know what, I love earbuds, I wear them all the time. Let's get some premium version for it, like that deeper bass. Because that's the biggest thing I've noticed between them is the more kind of expensive ones, the bass is a lot more.
Depends what brand you're buying. Like if you
get,
get,
I got Sennheisers.
Sennheisers, bang, yeah.
Yeah, and they're really good for that.
These Nomads, I can't see it. I can't see a purpose for them. I mean, even if it is for mobile gaming, Sony have wireless headphones or earphones. There's not a need. Other than the fact they're branded PlayStation, like you said, they have the technology. It's not a project. They just release them and skin them as PlayStation, like they did with that the Bone, whatever it was.
Yeah, that controller.
Yeah, the stupid mobile controller that was just the Xbox one. They painted it white.
Yeah,
exactly that. Just do that with a pair of your earbuds. Project Nomad, bam, out the door. Easy. I don't see the purpose in it.
I suppose this is the thing, though. It's like with any tech company, isn't it? It's all about diversifying your portfolio. And so, even if there's not a purpose for it, if you put it out there, as long as it's not a huge investment for them to be able to make, which, judging by this is Sony, they make this kind of stuff anyway in-house. If you just diversify it, people will want it. There will be an audience there. It might be a small subset, but as long as the kind of like dev costs to be able to cook this product up aren't huge, they'll probably make a return.
Yeah, I'll probably buy them.
If they're good, if it's a good sound, I'd get them. If they're reasonable. The end of the day with earbuds, it all comes down to the price and the quality. Yeah. And if the quality's there and the price is reasonable, and it's got PS5, fucking color scheme, that's just an added bonus. But if it's a good product at a good price,
my only issue with it is that obviously I would probably use it for VR in that respect. Yeah, but then that's just an extra thing to fucking charge. You've
That's
already
true.
got your 2 controllers, which are nightmare. They only give you 1 USB cable, by the way, for 2 Sense controllers. Just fucking scammy little buggers, mind, didn't they? 1 USB. Fuck, they think they are. Outrageous. And then you just have to charge your headphones as well, which I do now anyway with my Pulse. I have to charge that on the side. So I've got 2 Sense controllers, 2 dual sensors. I've got my Pulse headset, all taking USB-Cs. Nightmare. I'm good. Nomads, nah. Terrible project. Cancel it. I'd like to see them though, and I might buy them, but cancel it.
You're flipping flopping all over this one. You're so on the fence. Unbelievable. You're taking my position of totally on the fence.
I buy anything PlayStation's the issue.
Yeah.
I got my freaking DualSense Edge coming soon.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Watch. I'll buy it, but that's enough of Nomad. Done with Nomad. Stupid product. Moving on, they also have the Voyager. Fucking cool name, I reckon. Voyager. I reckon that's a sick name for a headset. Obviously, it's supposed to be in line with the InZone H7, which is a gaming headset they released, but it's just a gaming headset for, namely, I'd say, like console PC. It wasn't PS5 specific like the Pulse. This is going to probably be a premium Pulse headset. What do you boys think about that? Do you think it's about time?
I do think it's about time, to be honest with you, because I mean, I know Sony now they've got the H9 memory serves is their top one, and by all accounts, it's decent, not worth the price point from what I've heard. But yeah, I'm always up for an alternative, because the thing is, if you want to get the premium PS5 headset at the moment that are designed for PS5, it's like SteelSeries.
Yeah.
Why aren't Sony filling that fucking niche? It makes no sense. They got their kind of middling price point or low price point, I'd say.
The Pulse.
For the Pulse.
It is low, yeah.
Have a premium. Have like a 200 quid headset that's fucking top of the range.
I'd buy it.
Yeah, it would be sick. If it was great and it was like, yeah, this is the best. Because people already say like how good the Pulse is at the moment for the price point. If they could come out and say, right, well, here's our premium version. and it's fucking just built for the PS5, and it's sick. And it's got all the functionality that like the Pulse has on the ear cups and everything else. But it's got that top level premium sound that you get from the really expensive headsets. Fucking, I'm in.
Yeah.
I am in 100% because it's built for what I would need it for, that specific purpose, and it would do everything I need it to. Because the only thing I'm missing from my Steel series is that kind of level of functionality that you get from your Pulse.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. I got better sound, kind of everything else, and better comfort, but I'm missing that functionality. So if Sony could supply that, we always say on this podcast that getting official is always the best way. With the vast majority of things, headsets has never been that.
Yeah.
It's about time Sony make this shit. Makes perfect sense to me, 100%. And they did the same on PS4. They had a premium version that came later in the console generation, and by all accounts, it was fucking incredible. By the time I came around to needing it, when my headset started to die, it was so expensive to get because they didn't produce many of them that I ended up going to Astro as my choice, which I'm wearing right now. Hell, they could have got me if they had kept their production levels up, but they were on the resale market. They were like 400 quid. It was nuts. But that's my thoughts. Mr. Hoy, what are you thinking?
I like this idea a lot better, really, having the sort of high-end Sony branded, PlayStation branded, headsets available for PlayStation would be incredible, right? Because normally on the PlayStation, I either use my Bose noise cancelling, or I have a pair of slightly cheaper sort of Fanatic headphones that I use on the PlayStation 5. But for them to come in with the Voyager, and if it's sort of hitting the sort of high end, which we're talking probably around £350, that's what Sony tops out with their sort of noise cancelling headphones. If you're talking around that sort of area, I'd be really interested in that, sort of an upgrade as a possibility to my Bose that I'm using currently.
Yeah, so you're talking like proper premium then?
Proper premium. I'm going higher than you there, I think.
Yeah, because for like the H7, which is what this report from Insider Gaming, that's like 160 quid, I think. So quite mid in the price point range for a pair of headphones. Just because the H9s, right?
It's dropped down to about 110.
Really?
The H7s.
That's not bad at all, is it?
Really good.
That's not bad at all. I think for myself, Phil, I kind of agree with you. If they went more premium with this and pushed it, and it was more of even though it's a niche demographic, those people that were willing to spend that, our age range, I suppose, isn't it? Like the 30 plus gamers who have that disposable income, compared to say like the 18 to 21 crowd, where it's quite a bit of an expense.
Every penny counts. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I totally agree with you. I think I'd much prefer PlayStation to everything they do from here on out. I mean, like the PlayStation 5 isn't cheap itself. The VR is certainly not cheap. Oh. But I'd rather pay for what you get.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to pay for something and know that you're getting something of fucking quality. And I'd rather that than pay 90 to 150 quid and get something that's mid. Even if it's great for the price. Great for the price doesn't sell me. I want it to be great. And that comes with a cost. So I completely agree with you, Phil. I think they should go bold with this. Really go fucking full on and produce something that's like stands up, that people, even if they don't have a PlayStation, think, fuck, this headset's insane. I'd much prefer that, and that would knock everything else out of the water.
Yeah.
How do you feel, Spence?
I mean, as the only owner on the podcast of the Pulse headset, the current premium, not really a premium, but the current Sony headset for PS5, it's a good headset. I've had issues with it since week one, which is the padding inside the ear fell out, and I had to glue it back in, and it's just dried glue in there. It's fucking minging, but I don't notice it. I can't feel it, and it's comfortable to use. It works really well. I have issues with it when I pair it to anything else, namely my Switch. It cuts out all the time, like constantly, like every 5 seconds, every 10 seconds, it cuts out. On the PS5 itself, perfect. It works fine. Audio quality isn't a premium. That's the only downside to it. And the build quality, I'd say, isn't a premium. It's a little bit flimsy. It's plastic, which obviously it will be, but it's not good plastic. It's not amazing.
Well, it's 90 quid, right?
Yeah, it's like 90 quid. Probably like 70 now.
Yeah.
So it's expected, but it's for the money, phenomenal headset. Really, really good. I've not regretted my purchase at all. However, should they announce and release a premium version for like you said, Phil, 350, or hopefully, like you said, Davey, 200. That's a bit easier on the wallet. Don't have the money you boys have. Then I'd fucking buy it day one. 100%. I'd buy it, even if it's 350, I think I'd buy it day one. And that would be my headset for probably everything.
Well, yeah, this is the thing. It would last you, you think how long a generation goes on now. Say this comes out next year. Say it comes out 2024. We've still got, 4 years left of the gen, let alone then they'll obviously work with PS6. So you go until it dies. And really, what's headset life? If you get 6 years out of anything, I think you've done a fucking great job.
Yeah, you have.
So, if you think about that, this is fuck all, really. Think about the longevity and how much you'd use it. That's the big thing.
Every day.
It's the same thing. It's the same argument with anything expensive. It all comes down to use. Same reason why if you upgrade your phone and why people do spend so much on their phones, because you use it every day, all the time. It's one of those things that you'll never regret upgrading because it's so essential, And if you're someone like us, where we put a lot of hours into PlayStation, into this ecosystem, it makes sense to be playing on the most comfortable, the best stuff you can.
Yeah.
Because that's where you spend your time.
Yeah, exactly that. But if for me, it'd be the kind of headset. If it works as good, I'd hope it'd work without an adapter, like the current Pulse. Because the current Pulse, you need to put a dongle in your PS5 and it pairs to that, and that's the only way you can connect it to anything.
Doesn't just go off Bluetooth.
Just go off Bluetooth.
Right.
I'd hope a premium version would, so that I could pair it to my phone. I could wear it on the train or at the gym, or if it's premium sound, really premium, I'd literally wear it all day, every day. I'd take it everywhere. On the way to work, on the way home from work, at the gym, while I'm gaming, whatever, whenever you want to listen to music. You want it to be, I think that's what they want it to be as well. Built for the PS5, but optimal for any situation.
Yeah.
And I think, hire me, because just put that on the advert, What are you doing, Sony? Bam, smashed it already.
Done. Yeah. Done.
Yeah, smashed it.
Who needs this team when they can just come to us and we'll tell them what they need? I mean, come on, guys. But I suppose the big thing with this is always the same with rumors. Do you believe this to be true, guys? True or false? Spence, what are you saying?
I think it's true, 100%. 100% true.
Phil?
I think it's true, but I kind of don't understand the earbuds at all. But it's got to be true, ain't it? Like, they're going to be developing new tech. It is Sony tech after all. They have these headphones. They're just rebranding them to PlayStation 5 just to get some extra sales. So why not? Yeah, I'm saying this is the truth.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think it's totally true. And I can't imagine the dev cost on this is that the research and development, the R&D, it's going to be that much. And so for me, even if they sell only a limited quantity, it's quids in. Because they've already got the parts, they've already got everything they need to do. It's Sony at the end of the day. Massive tech conglomerate. So yeah, why the hell not? I'd say it's true as well. Listeners, would you be interested in a premium version of the headset? Talking high end. Let us know. Write into the email psvtrust@gmail.com. Now it's time to bring it in to the topic. Stop! Topic time! So here we are, listeners. We are at the topic, and what a topic we have for you. Yesterday, on the day of our recording, so Thursday, the 23rd of February, there was a State of Play. Now, a State of Play has been something that we've been asking for and begging for a long time. We were expecting one for Silent Hill all those months and months ago when we first heard those rumors of Silent Hill. And here we are in February, the end of February, we finally got one. Now, with this, fortunately, they set our expectation, so we knew we were going to get a look at 5 new VR games, as well as a host from third-party developers. But before we go into the content of it and what we actually had, we always start these off with finding out what our ratings of the show were and a general top-level conversation before we organise the games in a very unique way for In PS We Trust, which is, of course, shag, marry, and kill. It's the best way to be able to go through these games and find out which ones we're taking home to bed, which ones we are going to walk down the aisle with, and which ones we're going to take out to the guillotine and slice off that head. So, Mr. Hoy, I'm going to come across to yourself. what were your thoughts on the state of play, and what is your rating for the show?
Well, Davey, I did not have high expectations for this one because it was billed as being focused on VR games and indie games, and of course they were going to give us a little bit of a look at Suicide Squad. None of those things speak to me. There was nothing there for me, but I did message you guys. You were at the cinema. Spencer, I think you watched it live and I watched it live, but we didn't do anything live on Twitch or anything like that for this one because we didn't feel like there was going to be anything major. Boy, was I wrong. This one had quite a few interesting games or updates to games, which definitely boosted my score for this one.
Ooh. So where are you falling with this score then? I thought you were going to come in with this fire and brimstone, Mr. Hoy, if I'm honest with you. I thought if there's someone who's going to be pissed off about this, it's going to be Mr. Hoy. And the king has come down and he's raining a little bit of kingly mercy on this. I'm very surprised, if I'm honest with you.
So I think I wouldn't have even given it a score if these other games hadn't have been included. I think it would have been a 1 or a 2 or maybe even just a 3, right? Just as a pity score. But I think having the games that are actually included within this and how hyped I was actually seeing them, I think this is up near the 7s, the 8s, the 9s for me.
Whoa.
It's a really high score. I'm going to hit it in the middle. I'm going to go an 8 because this was huge.
Fucking hell.
That's crazy.
Wow.
I was well excited. I was really popping off. I was live tweeting along to these, and as soon as those games came up, I couldn't believe it. I wasn't expecting them at all, and I was properly shocked. The shock factor definitely giving an extra couple of points for me.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what, before we find out what those games were, and this would be, outside of, well, I suppose we could just go through in the Shag, Marry, Kill list. That would probably do it, and then if we need to, we can just loop into kind of wrap this all up. But we'll leave that there for now then. Really, really shocked by that, if I'm honest with you, Phil. Spence, how are you feeling about this one?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10?
Cammy.
Oh my god, mate. Oh.
Cammy. No, it's not 10 out of 10. It's not 10 out of 10. Although, Cammy, she is. The showing, I would say, I really enjoyed it, and it was optimal for me, because they showed VR games, and I've just spent £530 fucking on a VR headset the day I got paid. Brilliant. But it was quite good. I enjoyed it. Thought it was really fun. Thought they don't present this state of plays very well. They just don't.
You don't think?
No. I mean, it was fine. And the first 5 VR games, the way they showed it, was like, game. And I was like, Jesus, slow down. Fuck me. And it was making me feel bad, because I thought, if they're speeding through the VR this fast, how much Suicide Squad they're going to show us? I thought they were trying to save time so they could show us a world of Suicide Squad. I was like, fuck me. But I thought what they showed was quite good. So I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. Higher than I thought I'd give it. But Cammy bumps it up.
So guys, for me, I came into this and I had set expectation. And I think that's always quite important with these, because you know what we're like. We go into these with predictions where Resistance is coming back, Legacy of Kain is going to be redone, Bluepoint are going to be making every single game under the goddamn sun. And then when none of those things happen, because obviously they're not realistic, we're disappointed and then we dunk it. Well, with this one, because they set the expectations so well, in saying there was going to be 5 VR games, there was going to be an extended look at Suicide Squad, and then announcement from third parties, or updates from third parties. I went into this thinking, well, it's just going to be okay. It's going to be, mid. And it turns out it exceeded my expectations in pretty much all avenues. So for me, I'm giving this a solid 8 out of 10. Now, there were some things that didn't hit for me quite right. The VR showing, I think, wasn't that great. There was a couple of standouts, but nothing overly super impressive that I thought, wow, this is, a game changer. But we'll go into that now with the Shag, Marry, Kill. So I suppose, guys, pretty hype that we're all coming out of this with 7s and 8s on this showing. And I'm expecting there to be a few games on here that we're all wanting to include in our lists. And the rules with Shag, Marry, Kill, of course, for those that may not know, is that we cannot pick the same game twice. So if somebody uses it in their shags, it cannot come up again in that shag list. And That's just the way the cookie crumbles. Now, as always with these, we start with the youngest first. So, Spencer, I'm coming across to you first. What is your shag?
Well, I've got a choice of 2 games that I could pick for my shag. Oh, actually, 1, 2, 3. 3 games.
Oh, you got choices.
I know,
You got prospects.
3 pretty ladies that have been eyeing me up in the club. And I have to ignore them because I have a lady friend. But I think the one I will choose to take home.
They're not actually, you're not cheating, mate. You're not cheating. You're not cheating. I'll tell you that now.
The one that I choose to take home and disappoint my family with is going to be Synapse on the VR, which to me, anyway, was the only decent looking VR game they showed. All the others looked garbage beyond. Not good at all. Wasn't keen. But Synapse popped up and I was like, ooh, that's got a bit of a vibe. It's got that weird little mysterious thing where it's like a dark cave and at the end it's like a door of light and then it shows you telekinesis freaking dragging the crates. But it's not like the gravity gun in Portal in Half-Life where it just snaps to you and then it's like it weighs nothing. It's like you can feel the weight of the objects you're dragging. It looked like really cool. I think that game's going to be really fun and it seemed quite fast paced and with your shooting and shit as well. I think that's going to be a really good game. I'm quite happy to just defile it.
Do you know what? I gotta agree with you. I think Synapse was the VR game that I was like, oh my god, this looks cool. And I think what it is, it's telekinesis. It's fucking telekinesis. It's always sick. I don't think it's ever been done shit. It's great. It reminded me of a game that's a throwback. It's a deep cut for you PS2 heads. It was a game done by Midway, right? It's called PsyOps. And it was basically you're just this guy, story was fucking paper thin, but you're just this guy who has a load of abilities. So telekinesis is one, he has like pyro abilities and shit. It was just fun. It was just great time ragdolling people across the environment. It's great. And it reminded me of that, but in VR. And I thought, yeah, do you know what? This looks fucking cool. And it looks like one of those games you can get really quite inventive with it. You know, you could see somebody throwing like a crate up into the sky, shooting a load of guys, and then the crate just comes down and hits the last one. You know, that kind of like dumbass shit that you see on like TikTok and stuff. And yeah, this was the game I was like, yeah, this looks sick. So great choice. Absolutely great choice for your shag. Any thoughts on Synapse at all?
I haven't really got a lot on this one outside that it did look particularly nice. I did like the style they've gone for because it's black and white and they have that sort of primary colour sort of flowing through it all, which really just brings the eye to the action. I really appreciated that. But yeah, I'll just hold back a little bit on saying that I would like to play this one because I'm not really into any of the VR stuff, as we might hear a little later.
That's fair enough. So the rules of this, I always seem to go last. No point in breaking tradition. Mr. Hoy, what is your shag?
Okay, my shag is Suicide Squad, and I think this might surprise you guys. And it's not for the game, unfortunately, because it looked like a pile of shit. And I'm sorry to swear, but I'm bringing the big S word out for that one. It looked terrible. I really wanted to shag all the devs and the way they presented it, because that's how I like my games presented to me. I like a bit of background. I like a bit of story. I like to meet the people behind it. And it was really impressive the way they went into it and explained all the detail about all the game. Okay, it didn't sell me the game, but I really just appreciated how much effort they went into the presentation side of things. So yes, I am taking every single one of those devs home and I am giving them the business.
You're putting them through the fucking wall. I like to hear it. Yeah, I gotta agree with you. I think the way they presented it, you could tell they were the big standout here. Rocksteady Studios, big swinging dick on them. You know, doing the Arkham games, it's a big deal. They haven't missed so far. Unfortunately, this does kind of look like it might be a miss. I gotta say, like with this kind of being taken up here, I know we get a chance to include it later on in our lists, but the movement looks sick. Honestly, movement looked cracked. Harley Quinn swinging around I was like, fuck yeah, this looks great. Until they were shooting just pink balls. I was like, fuck's sake. Like, you made Batman. You made the best melee system we've ever fucking seen in a video game. And you're putting it as a third-person shooter with fucking in-life live service bollocks. Fuck. And the cinematics are great. Like with Flash zipping around and like the banter that Harley Quinn was giving and all that. Wonder Woman showing up. I was like, bro, these cinematics look insane. And they're like, and you'll be able to play this for years because you'll be leveling up your shotgun to legendary. I was like, oh, fuck off! Fuck's sake! Just give me a narrative experience like I had with Batman. That's all you had to fucking do. It's an open fucking goal. And instead you're like, no, let's fucking push live service. It's one of those games that I fucking wish is great. I wish with every fibre of my being that it comes out and it's reviewed and it's like a 90% or an 85 on Metacritic and everyone fucking loves it. And then I just buy it. I can't fucking see it. And it's so disappointing to have a studio which are like on the same level. Like, think of any studio in the world, right? Any studio that you really regard as being fucking top tier. They were that. And to push this out there is fucking so soul destroying. It's unbelievable how fucking bad you miss. It's just wild. It's literally running up to an open goal and toe punting it to the fucking moon, mate.
Skying it.
It bouncing off the moon and then flying off into deep space.
No, then it's an own goal, mate.
What? And then it comes back down into your goal.
Yeah,
off the
goal.
moon. It's wild. It's fucking ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I don't know if you've got any thoughts on this. I'm sure it's going to come up later on. I got so much to vent on this fucking game.
I mean, yeah, my thoughts on Suicide Squad was actually, it was one of the other choices I had for my shag. I think the game looks fun. I genuinely do. I don't think it looks like a great game. Definitely not a great game. But it looks like if the boys hopped in and we all just went about shooting Brainiac's pink balls, I think we'd actually end up having a lot of fun.
It would only take us 4 years to, get the Bane upgrade that they kept going on about. They tried to sell that as being like a very, like, oh my God, I'm going to be able to shoot green goop like Bane.
Bane gas.
Does Bane shoot green goop? No. I get it. It's related. Like he injects it, right? Or something that gets his powers from it, right? I'm not massive on DC, but it just sounds like that isn't what I want in a game. That doesn't appeal to me.
Well, mate, you wait until you roll that, you run that same level 10 times so you can get the Scarecrow toxin. And it's just a yellow version with a little skull in it.
If it was a cloud of Scarecrow poison, fog or something, that would have made more sense than Bane goop.
No, I think it looks fun. I do think it looks fun. I think if we hopped in, like, we're not going to buy the game. But when it's free on PS Extra Plus, which it will be, I think it'd be fun to hop in the four of us.
I got a counter.
Avengers.
Fuck I've been fucking praying for you guys to get on Avengers with me.
Have you seen Spider-Man swinging in Avengers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like it's a throwback to the PS1 generation where you webs the crowds, yeah. Webs the clouds, yeah.
Harley Quinn was webbing clouds, by the way.
She's rubbing a little drone that she's got flying around.
Is she?
Yeah.
Oh,
did you not notice the drone?
I didn't notice drone, no.
Because
I was watching it, I was like, what's she swinging off?
Yeah, it's a little drone.
Oh, there we go. Makes sense. Which, yeah, makes sense. Fair enough. Gone. But I think it looks fun. I think it looks like dumb fun you could have with your mates. I wouldn't play it for any other reason, because it doesn't look great. But it looks like you could have a fun time. The combat looked so weightless as well. Like, all weightless. They showed this, like, you have special moves, special finishes. They looked shit.
It looked like fucking Anthem.
Yeah, worse.
Better than Anthem.
Nah, not the finishes.
No. Fuck, you wait, this is coming up. This game's coming back up on my list. You bet you goddamn ass. So my game for my shag, guys, the one I'm putting through the fucking wall, is... I got some contenders here. I'm going to have to go for Before Your Eyes. Now, this game's already out. It's been out for a while on Steam. I loved this. I love these little kind of indie experiences where it's a really just great narrative experience. And before your eyes, using the fact that when you blink with the eye tracking, it moves the story onwards. Amazing. This just got me written over it every single which way. I love these kind of games. I love like when I played like Gone Home in the past. Fuck me, like every single year I seem to play like some random little indie that Phil always says is a load of bollocks, and I end up, putting it quite high on my Game of the Year discussion. Before Your Eyes seems like it's going to fit right in there. I think it's going to be one of those things that I'm going to come away from the experience feeling like I've just experienced something that I've never had before. And that's what you want in gaming when you've been gaming since you're 4 and you're now 34, is to have these little experiences that just change your outlook as to what a game can be. And that's what it looks like to me. And I know there's people out there that weren't excited because they've already played it before. They've seen it, it's 2 years old at this point. But I never have, and I've never even heard of it before, because I've never needed to pay attention to the PC space. So this has got me written all over it. It's day one for me, 100%. I'm really looking forward to it, actually. Any thoughts on Before Your Eyes, guys?
I mean, yeah, I saw it, and I saw it, and it's not something I've ever seen. Art style looked familiar, the studio's familiar, all that, but I'd never heard of it. And then it was like, don't blink, because if you do, it moves on. And I was like, what if you you're not ready to move on? So you're like, just there the whole time. I blinked.
That's the whole point of the game,
Yes,
isn't it?
Peak.
Your life moving fast.
Yeah, but that's peak. But then I was like, I've never heard of this, but it seems cool. And then it's like, BAFTA. I was like, fucking hell, this game's great. Must be. What got awards out the Wazoo? Jesus Christ, I don't think it's for me. But if you buy it, I'll play it.
Well, you'll have access to it from you buying digital. But yeah, I think regardless of the fact it's VR, that doesn't matter to me. It just looks interesting.
Yeah.
And that's why it's got my my eyes on it. Phil, any thoughts on this one at all?
I think you've already said it, mate. It's just one of those indie games that I have no interest in at all. I'm sorry. Not even with its kind of unique kind of blink and you miss it kind of style. I've not seen that before. But I don't want to see it. I don't want to play this game. Nothing about it really spoke to me in any way, unfortunately, mate. So I'll leave you to this one.
That's fair enough. So we're on to the big boys. The person you're ringing those bells for and walking down that aisle. Spencer, what's on your Mary?
Have a fucking guess, boys. Cammy, come to me. My Mary, unsurprisingly, because I've already tweeted about it 5 times, the Street Fighter 6. What a shock. It's the game we've already talked about it today, however many times, because it's probably all of our most anticipated game of this year, because it's sick. And I've been, since day one, they showed Jury, and I was like, oh, Jury. Oh, bruv, get the fuck out my house. Have you seen Cammy? Oh my days. Whew. I wrote her name in caps in the doc for a reason.
Oh yeah, I noticed.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
God damn, man. It's not fair. It's not fair. It's going to be difficult playing the game that bricked up, but I'm keen to do it. I'm keen.
You got a problem, mate. You got a fucking problem.
No, I found the solution. I don't have a problem. Trust me, it's fine. That is my Mary easy. We've already played the game. We know it's exceptional.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And somehow they've made it better. And that's it, really. Probably my favourite game of all time. Let's be honest.
Jesus Christ. From God of War to now, just Cammy.
Yeah.
Not even Street Fighter 6, it's just Cammy.
Yeah, Cammy in Street Fighter 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, that vision, that iteration.
Well, I think we're all going to have thoughts on this one. Of course, the lineup they showed was Zangief, Lily, and Cammy. They're the final 3 characters for Street Fighter 6. So we now have the full roster, even though we already knew all this because there was the leak, like a year ago. Mr. Hoy, I'm sure that you've got thoughts on this. Lay them on me.
Well, this was the reason I rated the show so highly. Up to this point, I hadn't seen anything remotely interesting within the show up until this point. And as soon as I saw Zangief come in with that big grin, I was like, here we go. Capcom. Let's go. Zangief, Lily, and then, of course, Cammy. She's got trousers on this time, which look incredible. Spence, you are right. It is a particularly nice version of Cammy. But Street Fighter 6, I couldn't be more into this game. It just looks incredible. 100% day one, and seeing these extra 3 characters has not changed my mind in the least. I'm still day one. I'm still 100% in.
Yeah, 100%. I'm totally with you on this. I mean, let's be real. Every person in this lineup is a beautiful bastard. Zangief, what an absolute monster. That guy, you know he fucking hangs dong. He's absolutely fucking beefcake. He's just the kind of guy that if he came into the shower, I'd feel so inadequate next to him.
Thing is, right, you know he lariats. He does this big old spinning lariat.
Yeah.
Can't even crouch below the arms because it's a big swinging dick down
Yeah,
there.
he just dongs
knocking
you
you
out.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just fucking absolute donger. Russian fucking bear of a man. Do you know what? I've never been a grappler in a Street Fighter. I've always just played my Shotos. Zangief and Manat are making me feel like I might want to play a grappler in this game. Because they both look fucking sick. He did literally, there was a combo he did on block that led into fucking insane damage. And I thought, oh my god, like grapplers have always been frightening when they get in. The whole point, one of the reasons why I play a Shoto, keep them away. I will play the lamest fucking Street Fighter. I'm taking a Street Fighter 2 on a grappler. You know, I'm literally zoning you out, you jump, you're getting shied, right? That's the way it goes. And Zangief in this looks like he is going to be a fucking force. An absolute force. And I'm all for it. Because there's nothing more kind of exhilarating than playing a good grappler. Because it's every moment, it's your fucking last moment alive. As soon as they get you in the corner, it's fucking GG's. I don't care who you are. You know, if you face a good grappler, and yeah, they look great. Lily looked great as well.
Really good.
Gotta say, like, her kind of like...
wind powers.
Her wind powers and her character that came across in that character trailer look great.
Yeah.
She looked absolutely fantastic. Yeah, and of course Cammy's Cammy, you know.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
I love
Come on.
Cammy.
Talk about Cammy.
We all love Cammy.
Oh.
She's, you know, out of all the girls in Street Fighter, my favorite has always been Poison. I've always loved Poison's kind of slut bag design. But you gotta give it up to the classics.
Do you know, Poison was my main in Cross Tekken.
Oh yeah, just the whip.
Guess why?
Just legs out. Yeah,
Jeez.
the girls and the men all look absolutely fantastic, and Cammy just looks like just a perfect Rushdown character. I loved her in Street Fighter 4. Played the absolute shit out of her in Street Fighter 4, and I'm excited to give her a go. And I'm sure that we're going to get another beta where we're going to be able to try all these characters out before the full launch. Yeah, obviously, a day one. We've been talking about it loads on the show already. Great choice for you, Mary.
Yeah.
Great choice. Mr. Hoy, coming across to you for your Mary. I bet I can guess what it is. What are you bringing up to the table?
Well, I'm going to make this one difficult for you, Davey, because my Mary on this one is going to be the game that cannot be mentioned, 4 remake. There we go. I've taken it. I've taken that off the shelf. It was one of the ones that we all wanted to talk about, I'm sure. Now, I didn't really want to see this. I didn't really want to see too much more. But what was shown looked absolutely incredible. The attention to detail and the things that they're changing all look super positive within the game. I don't want to go into too many specifics for the people who haven't seen this, because I know a lot of people are going blackout on this game. We wanted to go blackout on this game, but for the podcast, we have had to put ourselves painfully to watch it. Now, Davey, I know you're a big fan of this series. Was this going to be on your list as well?
Oh yeah, 100%. It was never going to be my Mary though. Weirdly enough, yeah. I've had my Mary safe. It hasn't been picked yet, which is great. It was my Mary from the moment I saw the conference. Sorry, excuse me. Choking up over how epic this my Mary's going to be. Anyway, yeah, the game that can't be mentioned 4 looks absolutely unreal. I am a little bit worried. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I think that it's going to repeat the same sins of the past. I don't think it's going to be scary whatsoever. Not even remotely. I think this is going to be very much down the same line as the game that Kami mentioned 3. I want to put something out here so we can talk about this properly. I don't have to watch my words. Can we turn the button off for this? No.
Go on then.
Can we turn it off? Is that all right with you, Spence? Well,
Yeah.
Thank you.
As long as Spence is happy with it.
It's going to be so annoying. Right, thank you guys. So with Resi 4, you've got... I just expect the fucking button to go off. Here you go. Thank God it's not. With Resi 4, the issue with it, right, is that as soon as you get past... Well, as soon as the game opens, really, you get so used to such an overwhelming amount of enemies, and you're so tooled up, and you've got so many options in front of you with a melee and all this stuff, that it's fun throughout the entire thing. It's great to play, but it's not frightening in the slightest. And with the initial trailers that were shown, kind of everything, it looked like it was taking a lot more cues from, say, Resi 2 remake, where it was a lot slower paced. It seemed like it was like kind of building in that atmosphere. And what we saw today, or on the trailer yesterday, was kind of key moments from Resident Evil 4. Key moments from that. We saw the minecart. We saw the knife fight be done, and how they're redoing that now with the parry button instead of it being the QTEs, which is fucking sick. It looks absolutely immense. And we saw the part where you've got to turn the cranks and you've got to cover Ashley as she turns those cranks and you cover them with a sniper rifle. We saw all those moments, and they all look like they've been taken directly from the base game, and that's great, and that's absolutely fantastic. And I'm sure this game is going to play like absolute butter. It's going to be amazing. I don't think it's going to fix what I wanted it to do, which is to create a sense of dread and fear. I could be wrong, but from what I've seen, it looks like it's going to be very much an action game in the same way that Resi 3 is. And there's nothing overly wrong with that whatsoever. There's certainly nothing wrong with that. It's a bit of a shame, though, in a way, because it could have been an opportunity to totally envision this and make this something that, yes, this is the de facto horror franchise. It's frightening as piss. I suppose it all comes down to resource management. And that's the one thing we don't know about yet. Do you get ammo for killing enemies? I didn't see any pickups from things that were killed. I didn't see that. I was looking out for it. Who knows? It all depends on that. Like, a game like Evil Within 2, very much on the same line as this in a way, in terms of it being a third-person shooter kind of action game. But the resources are so slim that you don't want to get into that combat. So you'll do everything you can to try and tip the odds in your favor, either by stealth or whatever way to do it. And that's what kind of makes that game frightening, to engage in it, because you might not have the resources there to be able to get through that fight. RE4 we'll have to see. But from what I saw, I was overly impressed by it. I thought it looked absolutely incredible. And seeing Luis survive, the guy, it's not... Look, if you haven't played RE4 by this point, you don't know the story for it, fucking grow up. Alright, the game is fucking ancient. It's a PS2 game. Luis dies about, I don't know, halfway, maybe a third into the game, and he was there riding the minecart, happy as fuck. He was dead before that, in the base game. So this is great, to see more time with this character. There was a fan favourite, everyone loved him. Happy for that, and for it to look like Dr. Salvatore, the chainsaw guy, looks like he's a recurring enemy. Instead of it being just like a character that just respawns and randomly appears, to look like someone that's, maybe someone that's pursuing you.
Yeah. Like
a force. Fuck, that'd be good. And then that combined with numbers will put tension on and pressure. There's lots of different ways this could still go to really create that feeling of fear. I am a little bit worried by it, but at the same time, overly excited, and I cannot fucking wait till April. I'm so in for this. Spence, you played this quite recently when I did. Kind of around about the same time, really, as you were working through some of the series.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts about seeing all this?
I mean, it's like Phil said, it's not something I wanted to see. But obviously we had to watch it for the show, which, not a bad thing. Quite nice. I love this show. But I feel the same sense of dread that you do, where I don't think it's going to be a horror game. But at the same time, I really like RE3 Remake. I actually really like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I mean.
And if this game can just improve on RE4, maybe make it scary in some aspects. Like, even just if that chainsaw fella is chasing you about, that's terrifying. That's terrifying. It's literally the same as what Mr. X is.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
He's going to be the tyrant. He's going to be the Demetrescu, isn't he? He's going to be that character that reoccurs.
But they fucked it in 8 because Demetrescu was not scary.
No, well, it's just the thing is that
And she was there for what, an hour?
It wasn't long enough, was it?
Yeah.
She was pursuing you.
Yeah, it wasn't long at all. There was like blatant safe rooms and stuff like that, which they persist in the RE2, but
You could really abuse it in 8.
yeah,
couldn't you?
very much. Yeah, it just wasn't very good, and it's a shame because that's all the marketing was on Demetrescu, and then it was a great part of the game, but not everyone thought it was like the entire game,
Yeah.
and we were wrong. But in regards to 4, yeah, I just want them to just learn from their mistakes of the past and put it into this game that is supposed to be one of the best games of all time. It's not. It's middling.
It's not middling. It's not middling.
Middling. It's not a Resident Evil
Metal Gear
game.
Solid's also a 6.
Yeah, it's not middling. It's a great game. It's just not a great Resi game.
It's not a Resi game.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, it's not one. So I just want it to be a Resident Evil game. I want them to make the changes they need to make it a Resident Evil game. And even if it's the same game with Resident Evil lick of paint, which it never had before, because it didn't, then I'll be happy.
Yeah.
And that's what I want.
I mean, this is the great thing. And I know we've made this point many times on this podcast, but it's really important to note that Resident Evil 4 doesn't have to do an awful lot for us to be successful. Right? Not an awful lot, because we're not a fan of the original. Or not like, we don't rate it up there. If it comes... When it comes down to them doing, if they ever said they were going to do Resident Evil 1 again, fucking hell, they got a tough mountain to climb, right? If they ever try and do that again. Whereas something like RE4, free creative license, go as mental as you want with it, change it however you want, because chances are it's probably going to be better than the original. And people may hate us for that, but it is what it is. Yeah, great choice for you, Mary, there, Phil. Great choice. All day one for all of us. Cannot wait for April. God, that's only around the corner as well. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
so many games to play. My choice, guys, and you're probably going to be a bit livid with this, but this was my choice from the moment I saw it, is the PlayStation Plus games for next month. I was fucking popping off. And it all started with Tachia, the game that you fucking hate. The game that, for some reason, you detest, Spencer.
Yeah.
I watched this trailer, and I actually was like, oh my God, it sold me on this. I was like, I'm actually going to buy this. And then, as soon as the trailer ended, it says, coming to Plus next month. I was like, let's fucking go. I was like, yes, this is fucking hype. This is like a Stray moment all over again, where I was quite ready to buy it. Do you know what made me want to buy it? Sharks are in it. I can take over a shark and swim around.
Such a fucking suffix, mate.
Mate, I love sharks.
Absolute sucker for a shark.
I fucking love a shark. And the fact that I had a shark that you could take over, they showed a dolphin, the underwater looked lovely. It looked really nice. And you're combining that with some of the best parts from, like, it's basically, like you've said, I think you described it as this. I think this is so apt. It's Mario Galaxy and fucking Breath of the Wild.
Mario Odyssey.
Yeah. What did I say?
Galaxy.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
It's Breath of the Wild is literally Breath of the Wild, and they added the mechanic of Odyssey where you can capture animals.
Fucking excellent.
Exactly that, and that's why it pissed me off.
And on land, wasn't too into it. Now I know there's water as well. Fucking sign me up.
If it goes to space.
Oh my God, if it goes to space, fuck me. This game would be game of the gen. I'm so interested in it. I'm so interested in it. And let alone, you look at the Plus and Extra catalog, right? And I'm not going to rob this from you, because this is something you would normally go through next episode. But reel us through what comes up in the Extra, Essential, and Premium categories for next month, please, if you don't mind.
Yeah, they did show it in the State of Play. It is quite nice they showed it as well, actually.
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
It was great.
It'd be nice if they did a monthly State of Play. However, like fuck is that going to happen? But yeah, the games they showed. So for all tiers, that is Essential, Extra, and Premium, you will gain access to Battlefield 2042 on the PS5, PS4, Minecraft Dungeons on the PS4, and Code Vein on the PS4. And those will be free to claim on the 7th of March until the 4th of April. But then moving on, you also have For the extra and premium tiers, you can get the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection, which I bought and I still haven't played, so that's fucking annoying. Which is a Thief's End and Lost Legacy, obviously. Plus, you get the game we mentioned earlier, Tango Gameworks' Ghostwire Tokyo. You also get Rainbow Six Extraction. And, for some reason, Immortals Phoenix Rising, which
Supposed to be good.
is a launch title.
It's supposed to be good though.
We're only just getting it now.
Hey, don't knock it, mate.
After Forbidden West.
yeah. Maybe it's just been on a fucking rampage for sales. Maybe it's just dropped off.
Fuck, I. Well, yeah, those are the games.
And of course, the cheer.
Oh, yeah, and Cheer.
Cheer, that's what it is. And for yeah. Sorry. Yeah, so for me, I looked at this and I thought, right, well, games that I've been wanting to buy for a little while. I've been toying with the idea of buying the Legacy of Thieves collection for a little while, because I do fancy going back to Uncharted 4. So I've only ever played it the one time through, and I wasn't overly impressed by it, especially compared to Uncharted 3. So that's been on my list for a little while. Ghostwire Tokyo, I've been thinking about reviewing, because I've done the rest of Tango's GameWorks games. And now that's on there. And Cheer? Fuck. Like, yes. 3 games I'm really interested in. That's easy, my Mary. 100%. They could have shown fucking Resistance in this, and I still would have had that as my Mary. Because
fuck.
I would have.
No way.
Would you fuck?
All right, maybe I wouldn't have. Maybe Resistance would have tipped the hat. But this is the thing. I was so impressed by this. I thought, wow, this is fucking so much value. And you think about the month we had this month being incredible. This month, next month's fucking insane. I'm so happy with that. They've been talking about Cheer for fucking ages. They've got a lot of faith in this, and to be able to get that and put that straight onto Extra, Jesus Christ.
Shows they don't have much faith in it.
And, well, Stray went straight to Extra, and it was fucking. It was in our Game of the Year discussion for last year. So I'm up for giving Cheer. This just sweetened it so much for me, and I'm looking forward to trying it out day one. And I'm really looking forward to my time in it.
I think it looks good.
I think it looks great. The art style's really nice.
There's an image which is the thumbnail of the release date trailer on the screen right now. She looks like a thumb with a bit of clay stuck to her face.
You are a fucking hater.
I'm
You
a
hate
hater.
Nintendo so much that anything that apes Nintendo's game design, you just hate it.
I like Smash.
He's terrible. Anyway, that's all Mary's out of the way, guys. Anyone got any thoughts on this catalog before we move it on to our kills?
I mean, yeah, it's excellent. It's a fantastic choice. I mean, I didn't think we were allowed to choose it. Bit of a twist of the rules.
It came under one announcement, didn't it?
They showed it. They did show it.
We'll let him have it, seeing as, Resi went and Street Fighter went.
Yes, fair enough. That is fair enough. The big two, Capcom. Yes, fair enough. I am pissed off that Legacy of Thieves is in it just because I bought it, but that's typical in it. That's just exactly what happens. That's fine. I think Rainbow Six Extraction will have a lot of fun with that. Maybe I'll play Immortals Phoenix Rising. Depends how long the platinum is.
It's supposed to be good.
Probably fucking won't. Got too much shit to play anyway. But then Minecraft Dungeons is like Diablo, but in Minecraft.
Yeah, me and Casper played it at they got it in the arcade in Hollywood Bowl by me.
Oh, yeah.
So we were playing it there. And you get free cards. It prints out cards for you,
Oh, yeah.
which then you can scan into your next game.
Oh, sick.
Cass loves it, yeah, it's great. It's
Yeah.
fun. It is fun. It's mindless,
Yeah.
but it's fun.
See, that could be fun. And if it's multiplayer, which I imagine it is.
It
co-op,
is, yeah.
There
You
we
play
are.
4-player on the arcade anyway.
Yeah, we could have a lot of fun with that. Code Vein, I think, is kind of a Dark Souls-esque game.
It's Dark Souls for weebs, so you'd
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's all sexy girls in bikinis fighting monsters, yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually not a fan when it's that on the nose.
Oh, you don't? Oh, you like it a little bit more, if you're
Yeah.
wearing trousers, it'd be different.
Yeah.
Right, I see.
Yeah. When it's on the
Cammy's
nose.
got
it's
trousers
good.
on now.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
That's why
I
he's
never
into it.
fancied it before. Genuinely never did.
It was too much, wasn't it?
Too
before?
much, yeah. It's too on the nose. She had a whole leg out, bro. No, but now, jeez. We also get Battlefield 2042. What? I mean,
I'm up for checking it out.
I'm excited to try it because I saw what the state that it was.
Yeah.
And I have faith in games changing after Cyberpunk's come through so much and No Man's Sky, the story of games.
Mm.
I think that's the biggest gaming glow up history we'll ever see. Is No Man's Sky. And if Battlefield 2042 could have a similar glow up, just damn, I'd love to see it.
I remember last year, before COD obviously came out and showed us how fucking good it was going to be, Mr. Hoy, you were fucking all up in Battlefield 2042's arse. You were saying how much you were impressed by it, how much you were looking forward to it. Can I see this being a thirsty Thursday game for us where we dive in and we play a bit of 2042? Try it out.
You are right, mate, because the way they presented it was outstanding. I remember those kind of hype reels that they were putting out for Battlefield, and I think we were all excited looking at that. But are we going to want to play that on a Thursday when we have COD and we haven't played COD raids enough? I'm not that sure. Maybe we'll jump in, but we still have COD to play. We haven't played that enough.
That's very true. That is very true. So that's enough on my marry pick. I think we've all had some great marries in there, some great shags as well. But it's time for us to lay the hammer down. It's time for us to put that person up on the altar and then put them in that little thing. Be like, oh, no, it's not guillotine. Just put your head through that little guy. And chop off. What are we killing off, guys? Spence, over to you.
Get fucking Chia right in the fucking bin.
You're such a hater.
Right fucking now. It's literally just Breath of the Wild. And what they did is they got Mario, yeah, they took his hat and they turned it into a flower. They said you could chuck that on animals and now you've captured them. It's exactly that. It's literally, do you know what pissed me off? The open world of Breath of the Wild, and then they had the audacity to have a fucking jump and have a big leaf as a glider. I couldn't fucking believe it. And then after that, they said, oh, and you can capture animals, by the way. Fuck off. Make your own game.
Can you also play an ocarina?
Bro, you can also be Luigi. It's fucking insane.
I don't see how you got so much hate. I mean, you got literally, you got two fucking insane, like 10 out of 10 games.
Mm-hmm.
By the masses, not by me. Although I fucking love Odyssey. I'd play it with Cassie. I
like Breath of the Wild more than
adore
Odyssey.
It. Oh, I loved Odyssey. Breath of the Wild's all right. Put both of them together. Add in a shark. Sign me fucking up. I could not be further apart from you on this.
Put them both together. Lower the budget. Ruin the art style.
Add in a shark, though.
Add a shark.
Yeah, add a shark.
Fucking
and a dolphin.
Nah, it's just not going to be a good game, I
Mate,
don't think.
I'm telling you,
it's free, so I'll try it. Maybe I'll eat my own words.
When I'm swimming around as a clownfish, mate, you're going to eat those words.
I
You're
won't.
gonna be like, oh, I love this.
No.
Can I be a crab? Yeah.
I don't give a shit about being a fucking crab. Fuck me.
Your priorities are all wrong, my friend.
Wrong. They're not. There's games out, bro. Games. Yeah. I could just play Odyssey or Breath of the Wild. I have them both.
I can't believe out of all the games, you're killing the game that I'm really excited about. It's just cruel.
You've already played that game twice.
Yeah. All right.
It's bullshit. Kill it. It's dead. Okay. Fuck it. Oh, it pisses me off so much. Make your own game. Can't believe Nintendo's not filing a lawsuit. On God. They're the company that would as well.
Yeah, they would. They were going to. And they saw the shark and thought,
totally we don't have sharks.
Yeah,
got
it's
sharks.
totally different.
Yeah. Oh. She uses a flower to capture. Oh, shit.
Has he got a seagull on it? Fuck, they take over a seagull.
Fuck.
Shit.
The game's better than ours.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Fucking ridiculous, mate. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. Phil, mate, do you have any thoughts on Chia?
I mean, what is there left to say about this game? It's just definitely not for me, guys. I'm sorry.
Thank you. That's 2 against 1. Thank you.
All right. See what the audience thinks. Phil, what about yourself? What are you killing off, mate?
I'm killing off all 5 PSVR2 games that were on this list.
All 5?
All of them.
All 5. Spencer alluded to this earlier. They knew they were terrible, hence why they were scooting through them super fast. The Foglands. Who's seriously excited about this game? Green Hell VR. What even is this game? Journey to Foundation. Oh, classic, that one. I know you've picked out the other 2, Synapse and Before Your Eyes, but you have spent a butt ton on some hardware lately, so you're kind of inclined to actually pick one of these games up. But for me, from the outside looking in, there is nothing here for me. There's nothing there for me thinking, oh no, I'm missing out. The other guys on the podcast, they've done the right thing. They've spent a butt ton of money on this hardware. Maybe I should have done it. I'm looking at these 5 games, I'm thinking, I made the right decision all day long. I'll save that money for a little longer.
Well, to be fair, mate, if Horizon isn't going to get you in, I don't know what will, you know? So these games are, yeah, they're definitely on the chopping block for you. I can 100% see your logic there. I think you're wrong.
You like these 5 games, yeah?
Not all 5, no. Green Hell's actually supposed to be great. I like a survival game. The only issue is I like a survival game either if it's against the undead, like The Forest, or if it's underwater, like Subnautica. And it's neither of those. So Green Hell, as much as it's on PS Extra, I think, right now, that you can download the original Green Hell and play it, it's supposed to be good. I'm not interested. And Journey to Foundation, I haven't read the books, don't understand what Foundation is, looks shit. Foglands, the same, looks shit. But Synapse and Before Your Eyes, I stand by them. I think they look good. And I'm looking forward to seeing more. But I understand why you wouldn't be, Phil. You're a game with a specific taste, and indie games are always going to be a hard climb towards Phil Mountain. So I can see why this certainly wouldn't tickle your fancy. But for myself, guys, the kill. There's some contenders here. I would pick Suicide Squad, but I've already ranted about it, and I think any more, and my blood pressure is going to go through the fucking roof. So I'm going to leave that one to the side. Do you know? This trailer made me irrationally angry. On every single level. It was Naruto x Boruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections. There's so many reasons why I was angry with this. Let's start with the fucking title. It's obnoxiously long. Naruto x Boruto. That's quite long, right? Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections. What the fuck does any of those words mean? As a combined thing, what the fuck does anyone get from that?
It's the Ultimate Ninja Storm and it's connected.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It's just all the characters, mate. That's what it means, surely.
That's their names.
Oh my god. And I was watching it, and it was like, you could play as Naruto and Boruto together. And I was like, oh, cool. There's going to be people that really
No,
enjoy
it never
this.
even showed Boruto.
Did it not?
No,
I
it's
don't know
like
what it
you
even
can
looks like.
relive the epic fight between Naruto and Sasuke.
Like in every Naruto game.
It did that annoying thing that Square do in every single trailer, where it was just random pieces of dialogue over nonsense.
Yeah.
Just absolute nonsense. But instead of it being like a minute, it went on for like 6 minutes. And I was like, this just does not end. And it just showed like every single special move, every single thing. I don't understand the characters. Graphics look shit.
Yeah.
The fighting looked gash. And it was just constant lines of random, ah! 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 I will not forgive you, my friends. I fight for my friends. And I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. And it just did not stop. Every time I thought, oh, it's bound to come to an end.
No.
Another special move, another random ass character, some fucking giant fox thing. And I was like, oh god, this is so far beyond me.
The one thing that's like really integral to the Naruto story. That thing came up, did it?
I was so annoyed by it. I was like, look at this fucking PS2 looking ass fox. And all this random ass dialogue over the top of it with this obnoxiously long title. Fuck off, Naruto. Like, honestly, get in a fucking bin. If it came out and it looked like Dragon Ball Fighters, hell, sign me up. But it looked like one of those bollocks anime fighting games that we seem to get every single generation, and they're all shit. They've always been shit since PS2. Outside the Dragon Ball Z ones, alright, they're good.
So your personal taste is fine, Davey, right? Your personal anime. That one's fine, but the others are terrible.
Tenkaichi's great. I don't think there's many people that would tell you that Tenkaichi's bad.
What does that name mean?
Fuck knows. But it's just Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi.
Yeah, but then after that, it was Budokai Tenkaichi.
Yeah. What means Budokai?
Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3
Yeah.
as well. There's 3 of them.
If it had another word on the end of it, it would be obnoxious. Because this is
Ultimate
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things. 7 things for a title is ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's getting into Kingdom Hearts fucking destiny of dissonance, or whatever the fuck they come up with. Fuck off.
Dream drop distance.
As soon as you get over that many syllables for a title, you failed.
365 half days.
Oh my god, it's just ridiculous. So yeah, so that's why he gets my kill. It's just not for me. Yeah, it's just not for me.
You actually ruined my argument. So you were gonna be like, it's just a fucking typical anime game. I was gonna be like, mate, Dragon Ball. It's literally the same, because when I saw gameplay of this in that state of play, it looks the spit of the first Naruto game they made. There's been no graphical improvements. The combat hasn't changed. Characters are the same. The exact same game. They keep re-releasing with an extra word on. That's exactly what they did with Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball. There was like Dragon Ball Z 1, 2, 3. Then Dragon Ball Z Budokai 1, 2, 3. Then Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 1, 2, 3. And they carried on. They just kept doing it. There it is. Except they thought, if you put numbers, people think it's a new game if there's a word. Just chuck connections on the end. The last one wasn't Boruto as well, so the last one was just Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm.
I think if it was just Naruto X Boruto Ultimate Ninja Storm, that's not bad. Connections just fucking ruins it.
Connections is strange, isn't it?
Yeah, it ruins it. It ruins it.
Yeah.
And it's just stop having anime voices over things that aren't connected. It's so annoying.
That's the connection.
That's what it is. That's what connects it all up. Yeah, total bin. Phil, you're a fan of Naruto and Boruto. Did this one make you jizz in your pants a little, or do you fall in the same line as me that this is just obnoxiously annoying?
I can't say I've played any of the Naruto games, to be honest, but I wasn't as annoyed as you were, because I was picking up on the references, and I was going, oh, is that character? Oh, yeah. I wonder if Gaara's going to turn up. And he did, because they went through every character, because it's the ultimate Ninja Storm. It's not just a Ninja Storm. This is the ultimate Ninja Storm. You're getting all the characters.
Yeah, all right. Well, we'll leave that there, shall we? Is there anything else you guys want to talk about, or should we wrap this up?
Actually, yes, I have one honourable mention.
Oh, go on.
A game that initially I fucking hated, but when I saw the trailer in this state of play, I thought, actually, if this game was a bit different, I think I'd love this game. And that's Goodbye Volcano High.
Oh, fucking snap.
I thought if this wasn't a furry game, I'd fucking actually really enjoy it. Genuinely. Because it's the kind of game that when I was like a kid, did like this game, story games you could get on your phone and shit. I'd love them. And this is like that. And the animation and shit looked really nice.
Really clean.
Yeah.
It reminded me of Life is Strange.
Yeah, same.
And I thought it looked great. Do you know what actually dawned on me watching this trailer, and I felt like such an idiot after? It made me feel stupid for not realising it before. The reason why they're dinosaurs, because the meteor's coming.
Fucking stupid.
I never made that connection, ever. That they're saying goodbye because the meteor that's going to wipe out all dinosaurs is coming for them.
Yeah.
I'd never put two and two together until I saw the thing with it saying about a meteor, and then the title came up with the meteor coming down. I thought, it's the one that kills all dinosaurs. And then I was like, oh, I'm an idiot. I'm a fucking idiot. But no, I totally agree with you. I'm worried that I might find one of the dinosaurs hot.
Yeah.
And it's a slippery slope then.
Exactly that, yeah, exactly that.
Yeah, before you know it, you'll literally go into conventions wearing a tail.
Yeah.
And there's no coming back from that.
None.
As soon as you go into furry territory, it's game over. But yeah, I'm quite with you. I thought it looked quite promising, actually.
Yeah, I
which
can't
I
tell,
never thought
though,
I would say.
if it's the same game we saw last time or a sequel.
Oh, same one.
It's the exact same game.
Yeah. It's just they showed more gameplay elements this time.
They showed none last time, that's why.
Yeah, it was just like a
They showed
random thing about a
really
fake band.
poorly
wasn't it?
2D like cutscenes last time, but this time it was like 3D animation in game, and it looked great with the music pieces and stuff and the dialogue. It looked like a really good game.
Yeah, it does. It does look good.
Yeah, I might actually play it, but who knows?
Yeah, depending on when it releases, I think it'll be one of those games that's really quite moving.
Yeah.
That you finish, you'll be like, fucking hell, that was great. I just wish I don't want to see a sexy dinosaur.
No.
And that's what.
And they're all in school, mind.
Yeah. So you potentially be a nonce furry. Yeah. And that's a line I physically will not cross.
You might.
I might. I might. I'll never admit they're hot though.
You will to me.
No, I'd die. I'd be on my deathbed and maybe I'd admit it then. 50 years ago. Shelley
played Goodbye Volcano High.
Shelley, the Triceratops was mint.
Just hear the police coming. Fuck, too late.
Get him. Another one. They're all admitting it on their deathbed. All these 90-year-olds. Oh dear, dear. Yeah, that was going to be my HM as well.
It was one of my. It was possible for my one of my shags.
Oh, fun.
Genuinely, I think it looks really good.
Yeah, it does look decent. Well, this has been episode 63, listener. Now, if you have any games that stood out to you, do you feel that you would be a furry nonce if you played Goodbye Volcano High? Do you think Chia looks like a potential amazing masterpiece of a game?
Or a piece of shit.
Let us know. Write into the email, pswetrust@gmail.com. And of course, if you're listening to this on YouTube, then hi. Make sure if you've enjoyed the podcast to put a like on the video and subscribe. It will help us find a larger audience. If you're listening on Spotify or any other podcast service, then please put a like on the video and put a review. We're looking for 5 stars. If you could put 5 stars on it, it will help us grow our audience and find more people like you. More people with taste. More people who look at it in the mirror and they say, I'm a winner because I listen to PS We Trust. The moment you stop listening, you're a fucking loser. Let's get more winners. Let's get more winners out there. Get them onto the show. Tell them to your parents. Get your parents on. Get your mum. I want to hear from your mum. Get her to write in. Get her to write in. I want to hear how Goodbye Volcano High.
Game of the year.
Yeah. I want to hear about which dinosaur you find the most sexy. Write into the email. Let us know. And it's one that I will close my eyes every time they come on screen. That has been it, guys. I have been Davey.
Thank you. I've been Phil.
And I've been Spencer.
Take care, guys.
Peace, 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 peace.
In PS We Trust is hosted by Davey, Phil, and Spencer. You can write into the show via our email, pswetrust@gmail.com. Our Twitter is @InPSWeTrust. To find each of us online, follow our Twitters, @SSJDavey, @PhilipHoy, @SpenPie_. Thank you for listening. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other. See ya.